Hello there, welcome back to the Agostino Zinga Show with your host, Agostino Zinga, and this is episode number 953. That is Nuevo Cinco Tres with your host, Agostino Zinga, coming at you live and direct from an undisclosed location somewhere within the depths of East London. How you doing? How you feeling, ladies and gentlemen? How you doing? How you feeling? Great, amazing, good to hear. Great, amazing, good to hear. I'm feeling pretty good-ish. I'm coming at you live and direct from East London. It's currently about 4:51 p.m. Hope you're doing well, hope you're doing well. Well, in case you're wondering why I'm a bit okay-ish, I went to the gym yesterday and I lifted really heavy. I'm now slowly introducing back squats into my workout because they're a really good form of cardio also to kind of supplement a little bit of my cardio, help my legs get nice and strong for when I'm running down the street and I've got my short shorts on and someone's walking towards me as I'm running towards them, and I want them to see the bulges, the thigh muscles, the separation of my thigh muscles exploding and fucking throbbing as every time my toes, not my heels, not my midfoot, but my toes hit the ground and bounce back up again because I run in a very springy, almost kangaroo-like style. So, yeah, I've introduced back squats back in my workout, and let's just say my back is a bit tweaked. My lower back's a bit tweaked. I've taken a couple painkillers. I've done some back exercises to get my back untweaked, but let's just say today I'm not doing back squats. Today, I am not doing back squats. My back is kind of tweaked. I'm not going to lie. It feels kind of crazy. It feels kind of shaky. It feels all over the place. But you know what it is? That is the price that you pay for trying to be buff. That's the price that you pay for trying to be buff, for trying to be sexy, for trying to be lang, for trying to be a baddie, right? For trying to be hot, for trying to be an it boy. That's the price you have to pay. And I'm willing to pay it. I'm willing to fucking pay it. As you can also tell, it's a new month. No haircut's been done again. I haven't decided what I want to get, but I'll probably get a haircut sometime this week. Probably get one sometime this week. So you will see a new me very, very soon. But I really want to get braids. I think, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to get the braids. It's going to be a bit hard because this side of my head, as you can tell, isn't that long. Even if you relax it, even if you relax it, even if you hot comb it or whatever it's called, right? It's not going to be super long. So when I do end up like relaxing my hair, it's going to be horrible. The person that's going to do the sides, they're going to tear my fucking scalp apart. That auntie is going to tear my scalp apart. Boy, I'm going to take it. I need to take the pain because I'm fed up of having my hair all big and messy and bouncy and annoying like this. I'm fed up. One thing that I'm not fed up about, and one thing that I may continue doing actually, the marathon. I just completed a 31-day marathon on the Random Show, my mostly comedy based channel over here on the old YouTube. You can find it via my main YouTube account or via the link tree in the description of wherever you're listening to this. You'll find the link tree description. You'll find Random Show right there at the top. I did a 31-day marathon. The whole point of it was to obviously get the memberships up. At the moment, I'm sitting on about 180 odd memberships, but I wanted to aim for about 500. I fell a bit short, right? I think I didn't even get close to 200, which is a bit disappointing, but you know, it is what it is. You lesson learned. But the major thing I wanted to do was to actually stream consecutively for 31 days straight. And I did it many times. I started and stopped. I started and fell off the wagon. I started and fumbled. I started and picked up a baggie. I started and picked up a fucking Maggie. I started and picked up a Buzzy. I started and picked up a lot of things instead of streaming. And it kind of, you know, threw me off course, which may have been the reason why I didn't hit my target. People be like, you know what, this guy's not serious. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's not committed. But I did it in the end. It took me a lot of time, but I did it in the end. And that's the thing with me. I think that live stream is a representation, is a reflection of my personality and how I kind of go about things. I may fall, I may stumble, I may get up again, and I may fall and I may stumble again, but eventually I'll get there. I'm a very persistent type of guy. I don't believe in the, first time's lucky and then that's it, throw your hands up in the air. Nah, bitch. We used to skateboard out here, bro. I used to skate every fucking single day. I used to even rollerblade. I know that's a bit GAY, but I used to fucking rollerblade back in the day. And if you know anything about rollerblading and skateboarding, you know those type of things are very unforgiving. They're very hard. They're very difficult. You fall on your ass literally a million times before you're looking all smooth and whatever and relax on the fucking skates or skateboard. So I'm used to it. So I can fall down 1,000, 1 million times. I'm going to keep going until I get it done, But one thing I realized about doing a 31-day marathon is just how little your viewers, your quote unquote fan base gives a shit about you. You know, just the lack of appreciation is really interesting when it comes to content creation. I guess because I'm one of those people that just watch stuff when I see it, right? But I guess when you're a fan of somebody, you're almost a little bit expecting, you know, you're almost a little bit, you know, I don't think entitled is the right way to say, but you are kind of entitled because it's like an exchange. You give them a view, they give you content, you keep giving them views, they give you content, blah, 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 blah. But what I've noticed with the marathon stream that I did on a random show was that if I did fall off the wagon and miss a couple of days, which I think was a max, I don't think I went missing for more than maybe 3 days. I don't think I ever went missing more than 3 days. But if I went missing for more than 3 days, for 3 days, let's say, the fucking vitriol, the toxicity, the insults, most of it is jokes, of course, but the insults I'll be getting back like, wow, like I just gave you motherfuckers like 8 days of straight content, 18 days of straight content. I missed 3. All of a sudden, where are you? You're not serious. You're like, rotted. Don't get me wrong. They're right, because if you want anything bad enough, right? If you want anything bad enough, you're willing to like die on this fucking live stream, right? You're willing to do, as that girl said, turn it into a modern day form of slavery. You're willing to do whatever it takes to get there. But it's just interesting, the lack of, you know, understanding, patience, benefit of doubt when it comes to viewers and quote unquote fans. You know, they want their shit now, which kind of made me think, you know what, that's what it takes to be an artist. That's what it takes to be an artist nowadays, to succeed in the arts. You just have to keep giving people shit. If you don't want to be involved in the cycle, don't be involved in the content cycle. But if you're involved in the content cycle, the content schedule, if you're involved in the content industrial complex, you have to just keep going. You have to just keep going. You can't stop. Because the moment you stop, especially if you've got a fan base, they're going to call you out for it. And they're going to, you know, slap your hand. They're going to tell you off. They're going to, you know, shout at you using all caps. Even though you might have given them like 6 days of straight content. 7 days of like 2 drops every day, 3 drops every day. They're still gonna want more. That's what I realized, really, which is okay. I'm not complaining about it. Just an interesting observation from people that were watching. Some comments I saw on my comment section. Some comments I saw on my Discord when I popped it from time to time on some incognito thing. Big up the Discord. Link to my Discord in the description too if you want there. I think it should be in the link tree. If it's not in the link tree, I might have to add it right now actually. But big up everybody that kind of joined in. It was a really interesting and fun experience. I'm not going to lie. I had an absolute blast hanging out with everybody. I really flipping did. And I can't wait to do it again. And I'm thinking actually, I might do another 30-day stream. Another 30-day stream on this channel to help and see if I can get the views up for this channel. Get the flipping, you know, get the memberships up on this channel too. So please forgive me for the next however many days. Please forgive me for the however next many days, right? I will be possibly doing a 30-day challenge of streaming and podcasting on this bloody channel. Now, when it's a podcast, I think it's easier. But no, I think it's different if it's a podcast because it has to be pre-recorded. I think so. But if that's not the case, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing now at the moment. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing now at the moment and just keep trucking on. And eventually, hopefully the views on the Tazs channel will go up and the memberships will go up too. And just the flipping, you know, people enjoying the show. Because that's what I got from it. You know, as much as I enjoyed doing what I did, the main thing that I kind of got from it was just how great it is to just make content every day. It is quite I'm not gonna lie. It simplifies life. It also keeps on the straight and narrow. I wasn't getting on it for the entirety of the 30 days. I couldn't really, right? For the entirety of the 31 days, I really couldn't get on it. I really couldn't really go out, really, for the main thing of it. I had to just be locked in. Work, streaming, gym, running, sleeping, YouTube, reading, back again, and again, right? Like that fucking Lady Gaga epic interview from back in the day. I couldn't do anything else apart from that. I just keep going boom, 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 boom. And you know what? I'm not going to lie. it worked out pretty well. It worked out pretty well because I think if I did try and balance, if I did try and do the whole, oh, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna live my life, I'm gonna do this, I don't think it would have worked. So I think it was for the best. I honestly think it was for the best that I did that. I honestly think it was for the best that I did that. I honestly think it was for the best that I did that. So big up everybody that joined. Big up everybody that was here with me. I appreciate you greatly. I really, really do. You have no idea how much I appreciate you. I swear to God. And yeah, man, it was great. It was flipping great. The whole shebang was absolutely awesome. So big up everybody that joined. Big up everybody that joined. Big up everybody that joined. And I think I might continue on, actually. Random show channel. I'm not gonna lie. I think I might continue on. I think I might do it for another like 40 days or something. I think I might do it for another 40 days. So you'll probably see me streaming again later on tonight out the Random Show channel, just to make it nice and easy. Why the flip not? Why the flip not? Why not? You know, I think I might just do it. I think I might just do it. I think I might just be out here doing the damn thing. So please keep an eye out on the Random Show channel for more of that thing to do. You get me? 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 Let me quickly do this actually. I'm going to title it as my Discord server. And that's it really. There we go. I titled it as my Discord server. The link is right. Where's the link? Is that the link there? Let me copy the link and put it into the flipping chat as well if you need it. For those of you that need it, the link will be in the chat. And obviously once I upload this video and do the audio side of things, the link will also be available for everybody that is watching this as well later on. You'll be able to see it too. But this is the link for the Discord. This is a link for my link tree that has my Discord, other channels, all that sort of stuff you can find there. So anything regarding myself, if you have any reason you want to contact me, you want to reach out on my other channels, there it is, there it is, there it is. All my socials, all my plugs available there in the chat. Check it out, check it out, check it out. One thing I want to check out, and talk about, oh shit, I done it the wrong way. One thing I want to check out and talk about is this. I got to quickly do this, is this. Courtesy of the BBC. Big up the blood clot BBC. London Underground improves pay offer to unions. London Underground improves pay offer to unions. So as you guys know, I don't know if you do know, but a few weeks ago, the London Underground came to a screeching halt. The drivers and the staff and stuff went on strike, demanding better conditions, demanding better pay. Some of the things that they were arguing about were crazy. I was like, wow, man, they really like get pampered. They're really looked after really well. They really had the good life, because essentially, I think they're required to work like 35 hours a week, and they wanted it to come down to 32. And, you know, I can't remember the last time I worked 35 hours a week. I think most of my works that I've been at have been like 38 hours plus. So the fact that these guys work 35 and that's too much and needed to be 32 was crazy. But still, support all the people there that want to get paid more. So I'm always going to have solidarity with them. But they brought London to a screeching halt. People had to, you know, people were basically stranded. People couldn't get to work. Loads of confusion, loads of disruption all over the place. Well, they did that because they wanted more pay. They eventually restarted the lines again. But that threat of striking, you know, it's kind of scared everybody. So now London Underground has agreed to improve their pay. Now they've submitted a pay offer. Doesn't mean the unions have agreed. You know, that's how deep, that's how sick the unions are. They sent a pay offer. Doesn't mean the unions have agreed yet. So I guess we have to wait and see how that pans out. But according to the BBC, it says the follows. Tube bosses have made a pay offer to the transportation trade unions as negotiations to avert another strike on the network continue. So there's a threat. That's the thing about striking and rising up and coming together. Just the threat alone of you maybe doing it again will get these people to fucking, you know, acquiesce. Will get them to fucking, you know, do what needs to be done. The new offer is a 3-year deal comprising of 3.4 pay rise in year 1, an increase in line with the RPI in years 2 and 3. RPI is a retail price index, a measure of the inflation that tracks the average change in prices of a basket of goods and services brought about by most UK households. The offer was made in a meeting on Monday with the RMT, whose members went on strike earlier this month, and other transport unions like Ace Leaf, Unite and TSSA. After 5 days of tube strikes in September caused significant disruptions on Londoners, and the RMT said it wanted to step forward a reduction of 3 hours to 38 32 hours, sorry. So it was 35. So no, it was 30. I guess it was 35, and then it went to be 32. Honestly, it was crazy, man. There were people that literally packing themselves into trains like sardines, people hanging off the back of buses, people fighting on trains. I saw trains broken down. It was fucking crazy. I actually wanted to jump on the Elizabeth line in the morning, but I didn't. I had to work and stuff. But I really wanted to jump on Elizabeth line and just document how it was to go from like one end of the Elizabeth line to the other, and document everyone getting out of Liverpool Street, the confusion, the craziness and shit. I would have been sick to document, but you know, I'll do that another time. Maybe, hopefully, or not. RMT Secretary Eddie Dempsey said that the new offer, will now be discussed by the National Executive Committee and in consultation with the memberships. He said the union remains in dispute with London Underground subject and the will of the membership under the democratic structures. Transport for London TfL has said that even a 30-minute reduction in working week could cost 30 million a year. Fuck. Yeah, because you have to think the reduction in hours will mean that they'll have to hire more staff, innit, to fill up those hours. But honestly, working in the underground is not a bad job. If you're out there and you're considering a job, if you're out there and you're a cool kid and you want to get a job and you like clothes and shit, honestly, I really, really implore you to check out the underground, because the hours are, you know, whatever they are. You can buy most stuff online anyway. You're probably going to get a decent holiday. You're part of a union and shit. It might be a good idea, honestly. If you're out there and you're looking for a job, fuck, get into fashion. Like, but, you know, work in the underground, save your money, then use that money to get into fashion, you know, by launching your own brand, launching your own consultancy, your own agency. Do it that way. Fuck all the other shit. Honestly, I recommend you do it. I recommend anyone out there that's, you know, looking for a place, check it out, because these motherfuckers, they get paid well and they seem to have a decent work-life balance, you know. 32 hours a week in London, in the UK. That's crazy, bro. There's people probably working in Lidl full-time who work more than that. You know what I mean? Voluntarily. Like, so, sorry, not voluntarily. They're obliged to. They're strongly obliged to. Let's just say that. For another strike to happen, union members would have to agree with via an organized vote known as a ballot. If the workers agree to strike, details must be given at least 14 days. What else is it? At least 14 days before the industrial action begins. So they're trying to, but again, this doesn't work. This doesn't work. If they don't want to do it, they ain't gonna do it. You know, this doesn't work. They're not gonna give you a heads up. They don't give a shit, bro. If they don't want to do it, they ain't gonna do it. If they don't want to do it, they ain't gonna do it. They love to just strike on call. They'll just strike on call like, rah, we don't care, bro. We're just gonna strike. You guys aren't paying us enough. We're striking. You guys aren't paying us enough. We are fucking striking. We are fucking striking. Let's continue. What it says here: if the workers agree to strike, the RMT have said that fatigue and extreme shift rotation are serious issues affecting its members and health and well-being. Yeah, I agree, but it's fucking crazy because somebody's gonna have to suck it up, innit? I know it's affecting their health and well-being, but somebody unfortunately will have to bear the brunt of it. Someone unfortunately will have to bear the brunt of it. Someone will. I don't know who it is, but someone eventually will have to bear the brunt of it. So big up the unions, big up RMT, big up everybody working in the underground. Hopefully you guys get what you need to get. Hopefully you guys get what you need to get. Even if it disturbs my day, I respect it. Even if it disturbs my day, I fucking respect it. Even if it disturbs my day, you just have to respect it. You really do. Another thing you have to respect, right? Another thing you have to respect are these Gen Zers. I didn't mention it before. Maybe I'll make another video about it. I'll talk about it in another episode of the podcast. But that girl, do you remember that girl, Rachel Omodi? Is that her name? I think it says Rachel. I think it's pronounced Rachel. I forgot. Please forgive me, Miss Omondi. But she's got an amazing podcast called The Cutting Room Floor. One of only maybe 4 Patreons I'm actually paying for. It's an amazing show. Mostly, if not exclusively on Patreon. She just put clips up on her Instagram. Does incredible interviews one-on-one with loads of fashion people and shit. And recently, she put out an advertisement for an executive assistant, studio assistant type of thing, right? And it went viral over there on TikTok because the requirements for it, I guess if you're living in New York, were kind of crazy. And the salary also wasn't that great considering living in New York. Because I've heard, I don't know why this is common, but I've heard people in New York say like they pay like $3,000 plus in rent, you know? Like it's, for some reason, that's completely normal. But then again, you have to think, America also has way higher salaries than we do here in the UK. I remember one time seeing online, because I've got experience in like customer service, marketing, social media management and shit, community management, right? Those kind of really important linchpin roles in companies, right? And I remember seeing my American counterparts complaining. I think it was during COVID actually. Like guys and girls in the US like complaining about offers they were getting, contractors and promotions. And these American people were like, I don't know, social media managers, same shit I did, right? Which is just posting on social media, liking comments, replying to comments, having a content calendar. These motherfuckers were getting paid, like I swear to God, like 50K. 50K to be a social media manager. I was like, oh my God, I've never been paid 50K ever in any job I ever got, you know? Let alone in the social media job. It's like, Jesus Christ. I think I don't even think in some companies, I swear to God, I don't even think in some companies, the marketing manager, which is someone who I'd always report to, like in my roles, being social media manager, being a marketing executive, marketing coordinator, communications intern, all that stuff, right? You're usually reporting to a marketing manager. And I don't think I've worked for a company in the UK where the marketing manager was making 100 grand. Or no, 50 grand, sorry. The only time I think I've worked for a company where the marketing manager may have been making 50 grand plus was when I worked for Cambridge Satchel Company back in the day. I worked at a Cambridge Satchel Company out there in Spitalfields Market. It was a pop-up shop, right? I think the pop-up shop that I was working at is now maybe a Dr. Martens. I think so. It's on the same street that's like across the road from Poppy's, whatever that place is called, right? If you know, you know about Spitalfields. Decent little shop, decent little brand. I got a nice little Vivienne Westwood bag off of it actually, like a white bag that I always wear from time to time. This bag I got for free from working there, right? One of the only things I got to show from it, a really nice Vivienne Westwood collaboration with Cambridge Satchel Company. There was another color too. There was a brown colorway that I tried to get, but that sold out super fast. But this is a really nice one too. Anyway, I worked there, and I think the head of marketing, the head of brand or the art director, I think he might have been 100K. But it's not common. It really isn't common for people in the UK to get paid that well. So, you know, when it comes to pay and shit, you just grin and bear it. So I saw the debate with the Rachel Omondi lady, and then it made me think of this video, which also popped up on my timeline, right? So I talked about Rachel Omondi girl another time, but I saw this video that popped up on my timeline of this young Gen Z girl crying because her workplace were demanding, right? Look at this. This is incredible, right? Her workplace were demanding that she work from 8 to 5. Right? Again, maybe it's an American thing, it's a bit, you know, whatever, but 8 to 5 was making her cry. Now, I remember the first time I worked in a job where it was 9 to 6. Because most people are used to wearing a 9 to 5, right? If you're in an office. I think I was lucky because I had good training because I worked in retail. I did service industry kind of jobs. And in service industry kind of jobs, you're working 8 hours a day, 9, 10 hours. Do you know what I mean? Shift patterns. There is no such thing as a 9 to 5. I think even if you're working a 7-hour day, if you're doing shift patterns, it doesn't feel the same as working a 9 to 5. But I do remember how brutal it felt when I went from retail to working in an office, 9 to 5, and then I went to work in another office where it was 9 to 6. And usually in the UK, if your office is 9 to 5, it means you get a half an hour break. If your office is 9 to 6, it means you get a 1 hour break. So it depends what you want, right? I guess some people in their contract, they maybe negotiate for, you know what, I don't want the hour break. I'd rather go home earlier. But that's what's basically happening. But I can imagine that 8 a.m. is a little bit crazy because that kind of throws off your day a little. You know what I mean? Like, because then that means you're having to wake up an hour before leaving. I mean, it kind of pushes everything back. Anyway, let's just hear her complaints, because I think, right, as annoying as some people find Gen Z kids, I think the Gen Z kids will end up being a net positive to humanity. Honestly, I think a Gen Z kids, as annoying as you guys think they are, I think they're going to end up being a net positive for humanity, because the mere fact that Gen Z kids were questioning the pay structure of that Rachel or the cutting room floor, questioning internships, right? There's this one woman, she's Turkish, she got a Turkish sounding name. She's going viral because allegedly she has poor working conditions, and you know, these Gen Z kids are like writing scathing reviews about her on Glassdoor, making TikTok videos, you know, statements and whatever accounts of how bad it was. And back in the day, this would never be a thing, right? My generation of people, you'd never do that. You kind of always keep it close to your chest. You'd hide. You don't want anyone to know. You don't want to fuck up your future job prospects. But these Gen Z kids, they don't give a fuck. They lay it all out. They don't care. You know what I mean? With us, we would care like, oh my God, I don't want to ruin my reputation out there. But these Gen Z kids, they don't give a fuck. So let me play this clip of this girl who says a millennial is bawling and having a mental breakdown because she doesn't want to work 8 to 5 job.
Literally, how do people work an 8 to 5 for their whole life? Like, it's actually miserable.
I feel you, sis. I feel you. I feel you.
I have no idea what I want to do with my life. And my husband's gonna kill me because I just quit my job. And
wow.
I think I just hate working. I hate it so much.
Honestly, I don't blame her, man. I don't fucking blame her. But when I think about this sort of stuff, when you have these type of mental break, I don't know about you, but whenever I'm having a mental breakdown, I don't usually vocalize it. I don't usually, I don't usually emote it either. I'm a fairly closed person when it comes to emotions. You know me, when it comes to public crying and shit, I want to throw people off buildings. But when I'm having a little bit of when I'm rummaging through my brain and having a mental breakdown internally, I'm the only person that thinks to myself, wow, man, working is really hard. Working really sucks. And the first thing I think about is like, how did our parents do it? How did our parents do it? And also balance a household, raise children, live their own life. Like, how do they do it? Because we are struggling to fuck, right? And most of our jobs aren't as hard as our parents' jobs, right? My parents' jobs are mostly labor, right? You're cleaning, you're janitors, you're all these menial jobs that are literal back-breaking jobs, right? Literally back-breaking jobs, and also societally looked down upon. I think nowadays, if you're a girl, even if you're a girly girl, you're a cutie, whatever, you're one of those lads and stuff. I think nowadays you can get away with being a cleaner and make it look swaggy, make it look kind of cool. Back in the day, you couldn't. Nowadays, if you work at McDonald's, no one's looking down at you. But back in the day, that'd be a menial job. So our parents were working menial jobs, sometimes working no jobs, claiming like job seekers allowance, how it was called back in the day, right? Universal credit back in the day, and somehow looking after a household, and managing a family, raising children, keeping them alive. Like, how the fuck did they do it? And we have like jobs that require us to click a link on our Google Calendar and open Teams. Chat to our colleagues on Slack and shit. And we're struggling. It's breaking us physically, mentally, all over the place. We can't handle it. And our parents did this whilst they were younger than us, whilst also raising children, whilst also not knowing the language of the country they moved to, doing all that. I can't imagine how they did it. But anyway, parents aside, she's got a point. It is absolutely torturous. It is awful. And I could have more sympathy for this lady, for this young girl, because she's from America. And I've heard through my people, my stream chat and shit, that allegedly Americans get like 10 days of holiday. And that's depending on where you work. 10 days ain't even like across the board. It depends on where you work. So imagine having only 10 days of vacation to look forward to, not counting public holidays and shit. Only 10 days of vacation. Because I think a good part, and this is like something I used to always say to myself, I think, anyway, to make myself not quit jobs, would always be, okay, I've got a holiday to look forward to. I've got a trip to look forward to every month. Plan a trip, even if it's like a staycation. But you can't plan those staycations with 10 days of holiday in America. What are you doing? You might as well just go in the next day. There is no break. And if anything, sometimes it's similar to when they say in prison, right? Because I watch too many prison documentaries or prison series, but there'll always be a scene in a prison series, a prison documentary, where the hardened criminals will, where the person that's newly been put into prison, whatever, usually somebody that maybe is in there because of one mistake. Like, imagine they ran a red light and their license was up and then now they're in prison, for something really menial. Or maybe just somebody that hasn't come to terms with them being a career criminal. But whatever it is, somebody that's not experienced with prison, they go into prison, and there's always a scene where the experienced person, the career criminal in there, kind of gives them a reality check and says, stop calling home, stop having people come and visit you in the prison. This is your new reality now. You're gonna have to get used to this reality, because I guess some prisoners would try and go into prison and act like everything's blessed. It's a break by having regular people come up and see them. And then what eventually happens is that people stop coming to see you as often. They might come the first month, they might come the first couple of weeks, but very, very soon they stopped coming to see you. So I imagine, because obviously you're not getting used to it. And then obviously people, have like a mental breakdown. They can't come to terms with what's going on. with the reality of the situation that they're in. And I think this is a similar sort of thing. This is a similar sort of situation where, relating to, I've completely lost my train of thought there. Relating to the holiday, sometimes I think if you do go on holiday too often and you work, it can sometimes make you hate your job more, if that makes any sense. So I can understand why some people, especially Americans, only have 10 days of vacation. I'm like, you know what? Just allow it. I'll just keep grinding until I don't need to grind anymore. Or I'll get lucky in fucking crypto or whatever, win the lottery or something. Do you know what I mean? I understand that part because I never used to understand it. Now that I'm older and I've got some distance from certain things, I able to look at things from afar. I'm like, oh, now I get it. Because I remember when I was working, I never used to get people who didn't used to go on holiday. Like people in your workplace who like save up vacation days, don't go on no trips, nothing. Not really bothered either. But then I get it now because if you're going away every month, yes, it's a good thing to look forward to every month, but it also gives you a false sense of reality. That's not your reality. Your reality isn't being on a beach. Your reality isn't hanging out in the villa. Your reality isn't backpacking through fucking, South America, China, riding a motorcycle across China. That's not your reality. That's a temporary reality. It's a form of reality, not a real one. Well, you need to get real to reality. So I understand this girl. I get where she's coming from. I did see some articles and some people saying that maybe there are companies looking at introducing a 4-day work week, which I think is great. Good idea. But actually, I think the better thing would be to do, if you're going to have people work 5 days a week, just have them work less hours. Like, honestly, even when I was performing at my best, even when I was a real high achieving worker, and I think most of you can agree, most places, unless you're working in a place where the processes and shit are already shaky and fucked up, and you're having to fix things along the way. But I think most people's day-to-day jobs, you're not working all 7-8 hours. You're not working at all. You might be working 4 hours, 5 hours, not the whole 7. So the fact that you're required to just sit there anyway and pretend like you're busy or give yourself things to do is a nonsense. It really is. And obviously it takes up your time. The only saving grace nowadays is that we've got working from home, but people like Elon Musk, my fucking hero, he is the reason why most of us aren't working from home. Because when, the lockdown ended, he was one of the main CEOs, who was out there saying that people need to return to the office. And if I remember correctly, he kind of spearheaded the return to the office because he was the first to kind of spearhead the whole let's just sack everybody and replace them with AI or replace them with better people that can do the job of one person in office. But now I've heard another article that a lot of companies are rehiring people that they fired because AI can only do so much. You may be still need people to do, prompts and shit, handle certain things, blah, 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 blah. But all in to say, don't discount, don't overlook these fucking Gen Z kids. They may save all of us. I know they're annoying. I know they have their weird lingos and slangs. They're emotionally unstable. They're all over the place. They're very entitled. But all this crying they're doing on social, all of this mental breakdown they're having about regular working hours and shit, it might be good because it's making people question things. And we don't question. My generation, we didn't question. You just grinned and bear it. You just sucked it up and just kept on going. Someone told you to come in, or if it was Friday night and it was your off day on Saturday and your manager texts you to come in on the Saturday or to come in on the Sunday, you just agreed. You didn't fucking complain. That's my generation. You just got on with it. You just fucking turned up again, on time as well. Happy to take your fucking £8, £9 per hour. But these kids aren't having it. And I think it might serve us all the good. We might all benefit from Gen Z kids' mental breakdown. So big up this girl. Hold your head up, lady. Hold your head up, lady. And then, what I was thinking about off the back of that? Why we need to protest. Why we need Gen Z kids to protest for us. Why we need Gen Z kids to have mental breakdowns for us. Look at this fucking tweet. People are now living on cruise ships and it's actually somewhat cost effective. Can you imagine this absolute hellhole? This absolute misery of living on a fucking cruise ship.
Living on a cruise ship, and this is my Sunday night. I've got BBC News on. I got a Diet Pepsi, which I got from my store in Skagway yesterday. And tonight we're having some meat with a little bit of potato and some vegetables. Over here, two baked potatoes. I only asked for one, but they sent 2. I've got sour cream and butter. And this is my green pea soup. It is Dutch Heritage Night, so I love the green pea soup. And for dessert, I am going to have creme brulee. Now, I love it when they serve creme brulee with like strawberries and stuff, but the food is all hot. It usually comes on warming plates like this. This is what it looks like outside right now. It's a beautiful night. There's a chance we might see northern lights tonight, and there's not that many clouds in the sky, so it's a possibility. But this is what I'm doing. I am going to watch the news and eat my dinner.
I don't know about you, but that looks miserable. That looks miserable, and we should be out in the streets protesting. We should be going on strike. We should be doing whatever it takes, flipping over Teslas. We should be going crazy and demanding our governments, wherever we live in the world, for more access to affordable housing, more access to housing in general, because this is a nonsense. Like, I somewhat understood the van life thing, because deep down inside of me, I'm like a wannabe hippie, bohemian, you know, counterculture, living off grid type of guy. You know, deep down I'm not, but you know, I kind of think I am. And I can understand van life. I can kind of get the idea of jumping in a van, traveling around the world, traveling around the country, pitching up, you know, and living out there. But come on, bro, living on a cruise ship. Like, this is fucking crazy. Absolutely insane. Having your dinner on a bed is inhumane, I personally think. I think everybody should have like a little desk somewhere, a little foldable desk, a little table or something, but eating your food, eating your dinner like that on a tray on your bed is inhumane. It is inhumane and disgusting. Like, I despise it. I honestly fucking despise it. And this is another, again, example why we need Gen Z kids, because Gen Z kids won't stand for this. Gen Z kids want to live in cool apartments. They want to live in loft houses. They want to live in warehouses. They want to live in houses, you know. They want to have a door, a shower, you know. That's what Gen Z kids want. So big up Gen Z kids. Please fight for us, because no one else is going to fight the way you guys will fight. No one else will fight the way you guys will fight. Talking about fighting. Have you guys heard about this? Talking about fighting. Have you guys heard about this? This one Twitter user confessed the following. Also, ... I had no idea that men go to the Liverpool Street Station toilets to cruise. What the helly? Now, I didn't know that either. Liverpool Street Station is, I think, one of the most popular, well-attended, busy stations there is in London, especially because it connects to so many different parts of London, and mostly because of the workplaces. Liverpool Street Station is kind of near the, well, I guess the quasi-financial hub of London. Loads of investors, loads of hedge funds, loads of banks, fintech companies, startups, you know, just in general, corporate offices are usually located around there. There's shops as well there too. But it's a very busy area. It's a place to be, you know, obviously Friday nights and shit. There's a big pub there too. There's a Wetherspoons actually in the station or by the station. There's a huge McDonald's that used to be 24-hour, no longer 24-hour. You know, and obviously Liverpool Street Station is a station that you can get the train that connects you to Stansted Airport, and loads of other trains that go, if I'm assuming, across London. I think there might be one that goes outside London. But anyway, very busy station. All that to say, it's not the most discreet station though. It's kind of underground, but it's not very discreet. It's very brightly lit, and the toilets, if I'm not mistaken, they're kind of, you have to go, like, to go into a station, you have to go down a level, and then to go into the toilet, you have to go down another level. But the toilet entry is right next to the escalators. So as you go down, like on the main road, as you go down the escalators in Liverpool Street Station, I think left-hand side you'll see a WH Smith, and maybe a Pret, and then right next to the Pret, there's a stairs to go down to the toilets. So if you're cruising in Liverpool Street Station, you're taking some risks, because people can see you going into the toilets from the Pret, from obviously the open flipping area. People are, oh, also I've got to smell that. There's benches too. So as you go down the level, there's like in the open area where you walk in, the kind of the gangway, the alleyway, the huge kind of, you know, whatever. There's flipping chairs and benches, so people can see you. So I don't know how people are feeling comfortable to go down and up, or go down and not be seen and then come up, you know, wiping their mouth, their hands or whatever, or adjusting their trousers. I don't know. That's a crazy place to cruise. Don't get me wrong. I get the fucking appeal, because it's a good catchment area. because a lot of people that are going out clubbing, a lot of people that are into that kind of lifestyle would be in that area, you'd imagine, right? If you want, and plus there's a lot of like eligible people too, like good looking people, I'd imagine, across the board, because it's a hip young place to be and shit. All the jobs are there. So I get in terms of catchment area, generally, if you're going to go try and, approach girls, you want to go to the coolest areas and the funnest areas, the littest areas. But Jesus Christ, man, gay people like rolling the dice, innit? The gays like to roll the dice, like that bit of danger. I think they enjoy it because honestly, Liverpool Street Station isn't like. It'd be different if you told me people cruise at like Bank Station or something, right? Bank I would understand to a certain degree, but cruising at Liverpool Street Station is paramount to like cruising in like Tottenham Court Road Station. It's just open, and people can slide. I don't know. It's just an interesting place to go. And if I'm not mistaken, the toilets also in Liverpool Street Station. I'm pretty sure you got to pay. I'm pretty sure maybe that's why. I think I found this out real time. Maybe because it's pay. I'm pretty sure the Liverpool Street Station is a pay thing. So maybe if you pay, because it's pay for, it kind of eliminates, a certain segment of people, and it means that only the people that want to be there are there. So big up the gays in Liverpool Street Station. Big up the gays in Liverpool Street Station. Hey, have you guys been paying attention to the Cardi B and Nicki Minaj beef? If you haven't, basically they've been flinging insults at each other. I think it started from Cardi saying that she was going to sell a certain amount of records for her second album. Am I Drama? Horrible title, by the way. Horrible album cover. But the album was decent enough, to be fair. I don't know why she waited so long. It wasn't the best, but it was decent. It wasn't as bad, I think, as people were trying to make it seem, or hoping it would be. But still, a bit underwhelming, as per most music is, and as per her, because, she's a successful businesswoman, entrepreneur lady. Like, she's got 4 kids now. I don't know. I wonder why people even do it. I guess it's free money, but it's never going to be as great as the first, because the first one, she was like literally fighting for her life, literally trying to pay her bills, trying to get out from the hood and shit. So I get why Confession of whatever, is it Confession or something? Whatever it's called, right? Was really kind of good. But anyway, I guess Cardi must have said something about having a target to beat, or she wanting to sell a certain amount of albums per first week. And I think that target was the number that Nicki must have sold back in it, something like that anyway. So I think she was basically saying indirectly, I want to crush Nicki's record. And obviously Nicki didn't respond too well to that, or didn't take that too great. And I guess when it came out that her numbers weren't as good as Nicki's, then Nicki Minaj came out and started flexing and started calling her a bunch of names. But the most interesting flurry of insults, I think, was this series of tweets here. Let me see if I can actually get up the tweets, because hopefully she hasn't deleted them, but she may have deleted them already, because she was going ham. Let's see if she deleted. Did she delete them? It was like a really long one where she went back and forth over things, which I really kind of enjoyed. I'm not going to lie. Let me see if I can find it here. If not, I'll just go to Academics post. Bada bing, bada boom. Where is it? Is it up there? Is it that one there? Let's see if it's got like a read more, expand type of thing. 13 hours. Nope. It's not that one. Won't be that one. Won't be that. As you can see, that's what she did, right? She's calling Cardi Barney B, by the way. So she looks like Barney. That's really interesting. Okay, cool. That's the one. I think that's the one. I think there isn't another one. I think that might be the one, actually. I don't think there's another. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't think there's another one. I think that might be the one. Bear with me a second here. I think that might be the one that I just saw further up. Nothing else here, nothing else there, nothing else here. Okay, cool. It definitely is that one I just saw. So that long one is the one that I want to read, right? So big up Academics for posting it, but I'll just read it off of here to keep it nice and simple. Where is it? Did I miss it? Is it somewhere down here? Bish, bosh. Where is it? Oh, I should have just tagged it, shouldn't I? Like an absolute idiot. There. Is that one there? Nope, it's not that one. It's not that one. Where are you? Long post. Give me the long one. No pause. Give me the long one. Nope. Okay, it's not there. I think I missed it again, didn't I? Okay, cool. Let me just scroll quietly and easy. There you go. That's the one, right? Boom. So, rant. This is what she said. I want to take one of the best ones I enjoyed anyway. Is I'm the Barbie. I think she's saying this in the way like to kind of mimic Cardi B's words. Is I'm the Barbie and the flop? Is I'm lying about fertility when the queen has never once seen or spoken to a fertility doctor in her life? Is I'm the one sleeping with Trade while hubby fucking sweetie taking my big gooey hole for alimony? In case you're wondering what that means, there is a suggestion, there is a rumor, there is a story out there that allegedly Cardi B's new guy, Stefan Diggs, may be a D-Lo undercover gay guy because of that crazy story that one guy shared where they were in a car together and allegedly Stefan Diggs came onto him in a very heavy way. In a very, 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 very heavy way. And again, you have to believe his story first, but there is a suggestion that's the case. And then, to lend credence to that guy's story, there was a video that came out a few months ago where he was getting beaten black and blue in the lift. And people are assuming, or he suggested that was because, you know, he rejected Stefan Diggs and Stefan Diggs' brother and his goons beat him up. Now on Stefan Diggs' side, to his defense, I think the suggestion is that guy was stealing. And that's why he got beaten up. Who knows? But either way, people are saying Stefan Diggs might be down low. So that's the relation to Trade, because Trade, as I've known, or as I've learned recently, refers to a man who engages in gay sex but isn't gay, right? That's one of the greatest things about this new era we live in. It's like people who like troll online, then when the consequences of their trolling hit them square in their face, they start crying and they can't understand why they got hit in the face. I love that world we live in, right? And I also love we live in a world where guys can fuck guys, but then not be gay. It's like, what? Excuse me? Okay, cool. I guess. No worries. So yeah. Is I'm the one sleeping with Trade while hubby fucking Sweetie? That's self-explanatory. There's a rumor out there that allegedly Offset fucked Sweetie, and that's why the Migos broke up, actually, which is horrendous. And someone needs to ask her that in an interview, by the way. Everyone's asking her these pretty privileged interviews, but pretty privileged questions, but is she responsible for breaking up one of the greatest fucking bands of all time? Is she responsible for it? Because that's pretty fucked up, bro. You're going out with Quavo, and you know these guys are basically family, right? I guess Quavo and Takeoff, the late Takeoff, RP to him, were related, but still, they're all three are family, and you hear fucking both of them. Like, that's foul, bro. But no one seems to ask her that. I don't know why. But anyway, it continues. It says, taking my big gooey hole for alimony. Is I'm going to be sued when the Queen show her medical records to the courts? Oh, rock bottom nation. Rock bottom nation, we win again. Desiree, I have your medical records too. The lawyer said we gonna have Barney B homeless within 36 months. Praise God. Lucky we eating cake right now. Barney B, which is her name for Cardi B. I think she says basically Cardi was like Barney, which is a crazy insult. I know you don't know this, but some women plan their pregnancies, you dirty Heineken pussy twat. I think the Heineken pussy, if I'm not mistaken, this honestly, Nicki's got some good disses. Or I think women in general. If I'm not mistaken, I think the Heineken pussy insult comes from that old video of, I don't think some people say it's not Cardi. Some people say it's just a woman that looks like Cardi, but I'm not too sure. Because we all know Cardi used to be a stripper back in the day. That was kind of her origin story. There's this viral video that I remember seeing back in the day. It's a very grainy footage. It looks like it's been filmed on a fucking Nokia. And it's of a woman, if I'm not mistaken, putting a Heineken bottle up her, you know what, if I'm not mistaken. And I think she might be doing a handstand or she's squatting, but I remember there was something crazy like a bottle. And people say it was Cardi B, but I'm not too sure if it was. I remember seeing somebody on Twitter saying, no, that actually isn't Cardi B. It's just like a troll people were doing back in the day. But I think that's what Heineken pussy comes from. Or it could just be her saying, your pussy's shit like Heineken. I don't know. But I think Heineken pussy comes from literally her having a bottle of some sort of beverage, some sort of liquor up her, whatever. We don't let niggers fuck on us while we're pregnant for the next triad who got 4 other people pregnant. You see, the devil has come to collect. You sold your soul. You made a pact, but you lost. Now hear this. You have been neutralized in the mighty name of Jesus. Imagine invoking Jesus' name after you've held these amount of vile, horrendous insults to somebody, especially to another woman. Imagine invoking the name of Jesus. Honestly, Nicki is incredible. Every word you speak on me or mine will now curse your enablers more than your dizzy brain could ever fathom. I was pregnant for my first love, got married, and the next year got pregnant for my soulmate on purpose. You see, Barney, we planned it. Your medical records at the strip club to now look embarrassing, and your father, welp, anyway. You're about to shrivel up and die inside. You called black women monkeys and roaches. Now one day people will call your daughters monkeys and roaches. Yeah, because there's a famous tweet that a lot of people refer to as one of the reasons why they feel like Cardi gets like collied or mollycoddled by the industry, because she was having some argument with somebody online, a black woman, I'm assuming, and she referred to that black woman as a roach, which is obviously derogatory, you would imagine, right? But there's obviously, you know, racial connotations there, similar to calling like a dude a monkey and shit. And yeah, there is this theory that comes around, and there's also kind of plays into this idea that a lot of people have in America, that they think like Afro-Latina women kind of look down on black women, or Latinas or Hispanic in general, because a lot of them tend to kind of, you know, black guys tend to like go for them, and then a lot of Afro-Latinas or Hispanic ladies seem to build up an ego around bagging all the black dudes. The black women get upset about it, and there's like this weird kind of racial colorism thing going on there, so it kind of plays into that. So people are always like, you know, how come she can say that about black people, Cardi B, and get away with it, but if somebody else said that, you know, they'd be in fucking big trouble. I just guess it is what it is, isn't it? She's just lucky in that regard. And it continues in the end. It says, anyway, I used a double protection in every relationship until I was ready. See the difference between a hoe and the queen? Woohoo! So she went absolutely crazy on her. But don't think that's the only one, though, because Cardi also went pretty crazy on her, too. I'm not too sure if she's still got those tweets up, though. Let me actually check. I'm not too sure if she's got those tweets up still. But I do remember seeing a thing about Cardi going pretty crazy on her back. Let's see if she's got any of those tweets up. Has she got any of those tweets up? Let's see. Yep, there's some. But she's a serial deleter, too. Okay, cool. She has got some up. She's not deleted anything so far. She said quite a lot here, innit? She said quite a lot here. Like, damn, you... Okay, cool. There we go. Like, damn, you pressed over an album. Let it be. This is... What's that? I said, damn, what's that? I said, like, damn, how you press over an album you ain't got hit in... You ain't got hitting or mentioned in. Bitch, feelings hurt because I ain't paid her no attention. You haven't even cut your own fucking kid cake. My God, it's 6 o'clock in LA. You must have took your first line of the day. I love how they're both accusing each other of being cokeheads, and they're just really crazy. That's the thing that's funny. They're both accusing each other of being on drugs, but the reality is they're both just fucking crazy. It's entertaining though, but they're both just insane. And let me tell you something. Let this be the last time you mention my kids before I spill the tea on yours while you talking about ABCs. You're going to leave me the fuck alone today, ho. I'm sick of you, bitch. Wait, bring that ass here. You talking about father? My father been to jail, has never been to jail a day in his life. Go get a detective to tell them to run them records. Don't put them dirty ass allegations from your bloodline on mine. Your daddy was a crackhead and your brother was raping his stepkid child. Jesus Christ. You got medical records on me? Post them, bitch. You're gonna leave me the fuck alone today. Bitch, you wish you could call my daughter ugly. Culture is beautiful. You know that. Your hate is so deep, dark, and nasty because your son's non-verbal. Cause you fucked him up with them drugs, so you jealous of everyone's kids and their happiness. Bitch, where the fuck you at? Stop talking. Trying to call me out to fight because I'm pregnant as fuck. You never have that energy when I see you in person. I see you at 2 Met Galas and you never have that energy. But where the fuck you at? My niggas is outside right now. Where the fuck you at? But let's be fair. It's fighting in a Met Gala is very uncouth. If you're a rapper and you fight in a Met Gala, you might as well waive every other brand deal and opportunity you have goodbye. Like, that's very, very ghetto. You should not do that. You should not do that ever. No matter who your op is, no matter if you're some person that abides by the on-site mantra and shit. If you see somebody that you have a disagreement with, somebody that you want to fucking see DIE, you should wait for another day. Just give them a blight. Give them, you know what I mean? Let them off this one time. Fighting in the Met Gala will literally, the black person will honestly fuck up your career prospects forever. So Nicki not having the same energy in the Met Gala is a good idea. They're both staying out of each other's way is a good idea. The fact that the Met Gala invite them both there anyway is proof to me that the Met Gala know they're not going to fuck up. Because they're too iconic, right? Cardi's got is very iconic in fashion. Nicki is also very iconic in fashion. So they have to have them both there. But they know that the event is more important than their beef, so they're never going to beef. So I think that's a wrong place to try and say, oh, you weren't on it. It's like, Come on, man. It's the Met Gala. You shouldn't be on it, really. She said about Papa Bear. Oh my God. Now they're insulting kids. Papa Bear, I'm sorry you can't speak and are banging spoons because your mum couldn't put the drugs down. Holy shit, honestly, girls and their insults. I'm sorry your mum not even paying attention to you or your own birthday because she's obsessed and dark-spirited hating hoe. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Drop the addy right now and don't go tagging the feds and the police like you did 3 months ago, you pussy-ass bitch. Shut the fuck up. Bitch, you've been having cum stains in your mouth since you was a minor because your daddy used to molest you, bitch. Oh my God. Oh my God. Tell the world that's why you wake up so fucking miserable, because you hurt and and full of trauma and trying to apply it to everybody else. And why the fuck you keep bringing up Rock Nation? I'm not signed to them, you delusional, paranoid, coke sniffling bitch. Yo, I don't think they like each other, you know. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting the feeling that these two women do not like each other. You said fuck Vulture. What? Bitch, fuck that slow ass son that came out your pussy. You was wishing so much negativity on me while I was pregnant, and look at your karma. Look what your rotten pussy produced. Now you're a whole 5-year-old tiptoeing around the house and can't You know what she means by tiptoeing? Because I think they say if your child tiptoes, it's like neurodivergent, right? It's a form of autism. I think that's what she means. Tiptoeing around the house and can't spell his name. Holy shit. You lying funky feet bitch. Nobody called the cops on you. You dumb ass bum ass man went online talking shit and doing threats while he was on probation, dummy. You was talking tough, now you talking about find us. Drop the addy, you fake tough pussy bitch. Bitch, you want to talk about $4.99? You sold both your albums for $5, you dumb hoe. You was even selling posters and keychain bundles with your Queen album, you fucking dummy. And you know, I've never been a bitch to cop please. That was your friend Nitty hitting up Tubby to go on a fucking joint tour after he got out of jail. I ain't never gone on a phone call with none of y'all asses. Bitch, you wish. And look how you be talking about Rock Nation, you ungrateful bitch, when they let you offer 3 months of Tidal just so they could buy your album. Stop the talking. Where you at? You said you was gonna cave my sister's chest in. We checking our DMs, ain't seen it yet. Everybody up and waiting. Drop the addy right now, ho. And she's pregnant, by the way. Heavily pregnant this whole entire time. And yeah, man, what an absolute mess. What an absolute unmitigating mess. What's the last tweet update here from Nikki before we move on, because this is too much drama and it's literally hurting my brain now. But the last tweet, I think, from the drama side of things regarding Nikki is like, she's so stupid. Find me, bitch. Remember y'all called the cops on us last time, made them all tell us we had to leave NYC because you and your man were afraid for your lives. Nah, ho. Drop the receipts, Barney B. You'll be eating out of the garbage cans on the Bronx in the name of Jesus soon. In the name of Jesus. Yo, wishing ill on your enemy like that is crazy, bro. Barney B had her whole label fly out to Cali to beg me to do a joint tour and album with her. I don't want to have to drop the recorded call. That's why all the sabotage is on my tour. Drop the receipts, dumb bitch. You costing them millions with your $4 album and $5 coupon. God almighty. Fuck the Vulture, baby. Oh, and in case you're wondering as well, why did she insult the kids? It's according to, this is a very, because I remember the avatar that she had on Instagram. This is a very old Instagram avatar where Cardi was going at Nicki. So I think this is why Nicki finally started attacking Cardi B's kid called Culture, the one she's got with Offset. And she said, because Cardi back in the day said the following: maybe if you take care of yourself and don't worry about what's wrong with other bitches, he probably would have made it stop doing drugs, and maybe that monkey would have been alive. That's why your son died, bitch, because you fucked up, bitch. If you pay attention, fuck your kids, bitch. So yeah, allegedly that's why Nicki went at Cardi's kids. I don't think that's fair because it sounds like she's talking about somebody else. I know it's vile and rude, but it's not like she was insulting, not like Cardi was insulting Nicki's kids in this exchange. It looks like she was insulting someone called Aquarius Baby One. You know? So I don't know. Whatever. The women are going nuts. The women are not having it. They're going crazy. They're crashing out on each other. Hopefully it produces some records. That's the thing that I'm most interested in. I want to see if it produces some good tunes, some good records. We are hoping that's the case. We can only hope, but more than likely it just won't. And you know what the funny thing is, I was thinking about this as well. This is like the difference between men and women, right? Why is this kind of exhausting? They're not going to stop. They're going to keep bickering. They're going to keep arguing. They're going to keep calling each other vile names, you know, insulting each other's reproductive organs, all this sort of madness until the day they both die. They're going to be old and grey, still dissing each other the same way. They're going to be old and grey, attacking each other super hard. It's never going to end. It's never going to stop. Because women don't really have a conclusion to things, right? If you think about it, girl beef. I think that's one of the things I remember hearing from Jordan Peterson, right? Like men at least have a way of self-regulating themselves in groups where you can just fight, right? If you're ever falling out or you're not liking what someone's doing or whatever, betrayal, whatever happens, as men, you can kind of sort out your differences by agreeing to fight. Women don't really fight like that. So they're just going to keep going back and forth forever. Now, obviously, if you're involved and you like them and you're a fan, you're going to be entertained. But for the casual viewer like myself that's more interested in the music, like I kind of want to see how the Cardi B story ends and evolves, because I don't really see her being a legit artist for a long time. I want to see what Nicki does going forward with her life and her career. Like, I'm interested about the music. I don't really care about this drama. But unfortunately or fortunately, they're going to keep going. They're going to keep doing this until the day they're all wrinkly, old and grey. It won't stop. I don't ever see them reconciling that, because the stuff they're saying about each other is the type of stuff that you can't reconcile over, really, isn't it? You can't ever go back on. So I don't ever see that happening. So big up them. It's truly entertaining, super entertaining. Talking about entertaining, let's talk about this clip here. Talking about entertaining, let's talk about an entertainer. Tyler, the Creator, the other day actually confessed to a crowd of people as he was performing that he might be cancelling his tour soon. Or no, so he might be going on a break, not cancelling his tour. He might be going on a break, my bad. Tyler, the Creator announced during one of his performances that he may be going on a break. I think he was performing in the Philippines. This is a really good performance, by the way, because the crowd was closer to him. The arena looked a bit smaller. It was really cool. It's kind of a throwback. Because I remember seeing Tyler, the Creator perform at Village Underground. I remember seeing Tyler, the Creator perform at the Village Underground. That was time ago, right? He's a much bigger artist than the Village Underground now. He's doing stuff in the O2 and shit, right? And the fucking Madison Square Garden. But this kind of feels like a bit of a throwback. So it must have been super lucky and fortunate for the people that went and saw this show, because Jesus Christ, seeing Tyler, the Creator perform in that kind of level, amazing. Well, he probably felt comfortable enough to share this about his career. And I understand him. Having checked his tour schedule, I kind of understand where he's coming from. This is Tyler, the Creator, on considering taking a long break during his final night in Philippines for the CHROMAKOPIA World Tour.
I'm excited to go home and think about if I'll ever really tour again, because I'm fucking not 20 no more, and I can't lie to y'all. I'm at that part of my life where, man, I've done enough. Let me go take a very, 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 very long break. But I will say I'm happy that the energy that I've had in the Philippines the last 2 days has made this worth it. As the last show. Y'all treated me very well. Y'all treated Paris, Texas very well, and we really appreciate y'all. So thank y'all.
So yeah, I can completely understand him, man. Because think about it, right? Tyler also, what's the album? He dropped it, like, this is people don't like respect his artistry enough. During his CHROMAKOPIA World Tour, he dropped a whole album called "Don't Tap That Glass." That was essentially his like maybe foray into electronic music, house music, dance music, club music, whatever it may be. He also doesn't drink or do drugs, so I don't know how the fuck he was able to tap into that. He did it in a good way. He fucking killed it. But with Tyler, he doesn't do anything half-stepping. He created a whole world, a whole ecosystem, avatar, whatever, regarding that particular album. It wasn't just like, when some people make albums while they're on tour, it's like a collection of songs they recorded while they were on tour. This is a whole thing that he did while he's touring. Most people are tired, they don't have the time to do it, and he actually decided to do a whole fucking album while on tour. And he also kind of toured that album too by doing these really cool pop-ups he did around the world. I think he did one in London too, where essentially the whole idea behind it was to kind of not be on your phone. That's why there's not really that much footage of it, actually. You don't really see a lot of footage out there of it, but it's about just him performing on a quasi stage and people just like moshing and going fucking crazy, dancing, letting loose. That's the whole idea behind Don't Tap That Glass, which is, you know, the title of the album, which kind of, you know, Don't Tap That Glass, the glass screen, blah, 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 blah. And I really like the album. I really like the EP. I think it is amazing. I can't wait to see him evolve and do more of that. I really love that video, especially where he kind of dressed up in BDSM wear and shit, which is, I think, going to make open doors, I think, for a lot of black people as well, who are maybe trying to or thinking about exploring that side of things, but maybe see it as being a little bit weird or whatever it may be. Having someone like a Tyler the Creator start tapping into it is going to be a good thing. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but look what he did with Supreme. Honestly, look at the like, I was wearing Supreme for a long fucking time, and I could definitely say that Tyler had way more of an effect in like regular people buying Supreme than anyone else, like legitimately, especially black people as well. You can definitely see that, you know, resonating in the streets with the stuff that he's done. But then I thought to myself, you know what, is he over woofing? Is he being a little bit dramatic? He's not, because I checked his Songkick, right? I went on Songkick because Songkick gives you usually a listing. You can usually check past events, because most listing places where people event, it's almost only future stuff. But if you check on his listings, right, on flipping Songkick, he's got gigs coming up next year, right? In Sao Paulo, he's going the whole South American tour. But if you scroll down to his past, I think it's down here, right? Is it past? Where's past? I think it's down here somewhere where you can check past. There you go, past. If you check here to see his past tour, you see how crazy he's working, like legitimately, right? So his last show was in Australia. His last show was in Australia on the 4th for the CHROMAKOPIA tour. Then from there he was, so Australia. Before that he was in, where else? Oh my god, look how long he was in Australia. He was in Australia for basically a month, kinda. Jesus Christ. Then before that he was in San Francisco, California, New Zealand obviously. He went to California. He was in Newark, New Jersey. Well, he was in Canada, Brooklyn, Madison Square Garden, what's that, New Jersey, I think, was that, or North Carolina, sorry, it's NC, North Carolina, Massachusetts, Philadelphia, Illinois. Then he came to Manchester, not Manchester here, Manchester over there. He came to Glasgow, Manchester in the UK, Dublin, Ireland, London, the UK, May, like all these dates, right? May, June, July, every month he was touring that CHROMAKOPIA tour, back to back to back to back to back. Like May he was in fucking Czech Republic, and obviously going forward he's gonna go to fucking South America and shit. So his schedule is pretty nuts. But the really only, I think one of the ways and he kind of elevates his albums is the live experience, the live performance. They add a different element to it because he really gives it his all, which also is maybe the reason why he's feeling so tapped out and so tired. Because a Tyler the Creator live show isn't like any other rapper live show. He's not just rapping over the fucking tune that you got on your phone. He's rapping without a backing track. That means no vocals. He's the one, you know, breath to fucking mouth, mouth to fucking microphone out there. He's jumping around, pyrotechnics, screens, set designs, running up and down the catwalk thing, the platform. Like, he's doing a lot. He is killing it, really performing amazing. So I can understand why a guy like that is like, you know what, I'm tired. But I also understand the allure, because there was a stream that I watched of Academics. Big up DJ Academics on his stream. DJ Academics was like, you know, kind of chastising Tyler a little bit because of his complaining about touring and shit. And I think he mentioned that Tyler I think the gig that he did, when was it for? Was it Bonnaroo? It was one of these big festivals somewhere in America. He allegedly got paid $4 million. Now, I'm not too sure if he got paid $4 million because that's his fee, or if he got paid $4 million because the festival really went to get him. Because I'm sure that's a part of the game, right? I'm sure because of the plethora of fucking festivals out there, there are some people who are just willing to just pay you more. They'll just pay you more just to guarantee that you perform at their festival. So maybe this festival just paid him the $4 million because they went to guarantee he came, or maybe $4 million is his actual fee. But let's just go with the latter, and $4 million is his fee. Imagine. That's going to be hard to turn down. No wonder he's touring so much. Because that's like what? Let's say if he goes to places like, you know, Philippines and shit. Let's say he adjusts his fee based on their fucking local economy and he takes 100 grand. He takes $500,000. That's still a crazy amount, right? That's still a crazy bag. That's like 6 figures plus that you're picking up every time you go on tour. It makes, and I know the shows cost a lot. the production. I mean, there's a lot of money that goes into putting these shows on. He's also not going by himself, you know, the staff, but still, I understand why he's touring so much because the money's crazy, but it must really take it out of you, which is why I wonder if there are some, I don't think it happens to DJs, but I wonder if there are some DJs out there who decide to go crazy when it comes to the festival season. They'll play every fucking festival, and then when the festival season's over, which is about now, September, October, they just completely go on a break. And then they start maybe doing the club circuit again in the new year. And then when festival season starts again in April, they start. I wonder if people do that, or if you just get addicted to the money, addicted to the attention, and you just keep going in a rat race. Because I think it's easier. I think it's easier for DJs because they're not performing and jumping up and down like a live artist. But it shouldn't be that difficult to manage your time and to delegate and to kind of put out blocks and be like, you know what? This is tour time. I've got an album. I've got to push it. I've got to touch the people. I've got to put on a show for my fans. And then when it's over, it's over. But Tyler's also a very hard worker. He's also, you know, he wants to kind of elevate his performances. He's probably seen the stuff that Bad Bunny's done and shit. He wants to kind of, you know, compete with that sort of shit. So I get it. I get it in terms of being a live act. Because one thing he's done really well at, he's got an incredible body of work when it comes to live performances. I don't think I've seen a single performance of his that shit. So he's probably got a bunch of people that see a clip of him performing somewhere like, you know what, I want to see this guy perform. So that goes a long way as well. You're kind of acquiring new fans and shit via doing those type of things. So big up Tyler. Big up Tyler. Break is well deserved. If he does end up going on one, a break is well deserved. Talking about well deserved, I think we deserve this shit. So the other day, this headline went viral, courtesy of Wired, regarding OpenAI prepping to launch a social media app for AI-generated videos. And geeks and techies like myself were very disappointed, but also hoping that this was a troll. Also hoping that this wasn't maybe misunderstood. You know, this was maybe a crossing of the wires, reporting wise, and that maybe it wasn't a social media app. It had a social element, but it had some other things. Well, unfortunately, it has now been confirmed that it is indeed a social media app. Instead of OpenAI deciding to use their plethora of resources, their millions and probably near billions of funding to actually use artificial intelligence to do some real life good and actually cure things like cancer, cure things like AIDS, cure things like fucking, I don't know, whatever else you can cure out there in terms of diseases, they are, rather than doing that, creating an AI social media platform. Like, no, a social media platform where you can share AI generated videos, obviously, that you make on their thing. And I'm thinking to myself, like, who needs this? Who needs this absolute horrendous content slop? Because I'm not just sure about you guys, but I don't think I've ever sat and actually watched an AI generated video. You know, sometimes people make them and you see them on your timeline, but I don't think I've actually sat down and watched one voluntarily or watched a compilation of AI generated videos. I'm just not interested. I don't give a fuck. If I see them in the meme, of course I'll laugh and see, but I'm not going to seek them. So to create a platform, to create a social media app specifically for that need, it feels like a big waste of money. Like, who needs this, really? Who actually needs this? This feels like complete slop. But I think the reason why they created this app called Sora 2, or the social media part of this platform, is because they want to make money from ads. I honestly think that's it. I think it's making money from ads, and obviously maybe a little bit of user or customer acquisition, I guess user acquisition, and maybe some data sets as well that could be gleaned from it. But I think it's mostly for ads, because eventually there will come a point where the feed would be, you know, you see ads. You'll see ads in between different posts that you're following from your friends. At the moment, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's a private it's an open app, but it's private beta. You have to be on a waiting list. You know, one of those things that kind of generate hype. But this courtesy of NBC News, it says OpenAI announces Sora 2 and an AI video audio app that allows for users cameos. There's a picture of one of them, right? Look at how weird that is, by the way. It's a UI generated video of what looks like Sam Altman working on some sort of like wooden sculpture thing. He's got one of those magnifying glasses on, but he's not looking down the lens. He's looking at the other way. So it's a bit strange there. But let's continue. It says the next generation of OpenAI's video generators here. Sora 2, the company's latest video and audio generation model, totes out upgraded photorealistic video capabilities, and a new Sora app is being built as the social platform for users to share, remix, and discover AI generated videos. Introducing a live stream on Tuesday afternoon, Sora 2 represents the latest in a wave of multimedia generative AI tools. Building on the previous AI image generation technology, Sora 2 allows users to create cameos or guest appearances for themselves and others in videos. The feature requires users to make a one-time video and audio recording of themselves to verify their identity. Like many existing social media platforms, the Sora app will feature an algorithmic feed display videos tailored to users' interests based on who they interact with. The feed will include steerable ranking systems for users to further personalize that they see according to the details. Yeah, right. Oh, how long is that gonna last? How long is that gonna last before they force you to see certain things? Sora builds on the original Sora model released in February 2024. Whereas the initial version of Sora sometimes struggled to represent realistic emotion, like the basketball bouncing off a backboard, OpenAI said that on Tuesday that Sora 2 is better about obeying the laws of physics. Demos presented the OpenAI website showcase a photorealistic action shots of stunts such as gymnastics, umbling, and skateboarding tricks. Let's actually check that out. I want to see this showcase. It's probably going to be horrendous, but this is Sora 2, right? Let's see what you can do with Sora 2. Everything you're about to see was generated by Sora 2. Okay, let's see what they're saying here. What do we have?
1 year ago, Sora 1 redefined what was possible with moving images. Today, we're announcing the Sora app, powered by the all-new Sora 2.
You can immediately tell by the voice, innit? There's a weird marble gurgling of the voice. So it can do audio, which is very impressive, but the audio is very AI generated sounding. This is some sort of scenery that looks like it could be filmed in space or underwater.
It's the most powerful imagination engine ever built. And it's packed with new features. I'll pass it to Bill for more details.
That was like unicorns riding on the moon. Some 90s, 50s, 10s, whatever scenery.
Now every video comes with sound.
An elephant in the club, fair?
Sora 2 is also the state-of-the-art for motion, physics IQ, and body mechanics, marking a giant leap forward in realism.
Why are arms so long though? Why they look like they stretch every time she spins? Oh wow, you can ride a dragon on Sora 2. You can act like you're a part of the House of Dragons or shit, or you're in an episode of Game of Thrones and shit. Lord of the Rings and shit. Wow. Riding on a dragon.
And we're introducing Cameo, giving you the power to step into any world or scene and letting your friends cast you in theirs.
On the path to AGI, the gains aren't just about productivity. It's about creating new possibilities.
It's also about creativity and joy.
Forget productivity, man. Can you cure some diseases, please? Forget about creativity. Can you maybe fix the fucking water issues in Flint, Michigan and shit? Maybe use AI for that. For fuck's sake, bro. How much funding has OpenAI got over the years? How much funding? Probably totaling into the billions. Funding that OpenAI has got, it has to be totaled into the billions. We've so far got no hardware. The decent thing they have is ChatGPT, right? That's the most decent thing they've got. But apart from that, what else have they given the world? An easier way to cheat with exams, an easier way to be a hypochondriac, an easier way for you to learn some fucking statistics or facts about things that you don't really fucking care about. Honestly, use that money to fucking cure diseases, to fucking, end fucking poverty. I don't know, reduce homelessness, like something, bro. Like, what the fuck is this? It's not about product. It's always about productivity. Yeah, it shouldn't always be about fucking working. If it's not working, it's fucking apps, and the apps are just another platform for them to fucking bombard you with bloody ads.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That's why we're launching Sora 2 inside the Sora app, allowing everyone to push the limits of their imagination and create in ways we never thought possible.
I don't know about you. It looks kind of terrible to me. It looks kind of terrible to me, but big up them. Sora 2 is also seemingly able to generate speech, something previous versions was unable to do. The model is far from perfect and makes plenty of mistakes, but it's a validation, that further scaling up of neural networks on video data will bring us closer to simulating a reality. What happened to AGI, bro? What happened to AGI? What happened to AGI? When are we gonna reach that? We're out here busy building apps, like fucking hell. Busy building social media platforms, like enough, please enough. On Tuesday, OpenAI researcher scientist Gabriel Peterson showcased the model cameo abilities by posting a video on X that featured his own likeness raiding a dragon, diving off a cargo ship, and running through OpenAI office with the likeness of CEO Sam Altman. Let's watch this one. This is something made on Sora 2 allegedly. Let's see how fun this is.
Hey Sam, can I be in the Sora launch video?
Oh no, he already fell asleep. Well, maybe it's time for me to take a nap as well. Wow, we are in the 70s now.
There he is! Move, move!
This is so shit. Oh, this is so shit. Honestly, man, we deserve better than this, surely, no? We deserve better than this. We really do deserve. Humanity deserves better. Honestly, all our electricity prices around the world are going up to power some of these fucking servers, right? To power some of these data centers, and this is what they're giving us. Our electricity bills are through the fucking roof, and this is why. This is fucking why. Horrible. Sora app powered by Sora 2 is now available to download on iOS systems, but access is limited, invite only, and users request access through the app. Yeah, it's also only US only. It's only US only, if I'm mistaken. You can't get it in Europe just yet. But Jesus Christ, man, I guess that's what we have to look forward to in the future. I guess that's what we have to look forward to in the blood clot future. Moving on. Let's talk a little bit about Young Philly. Big up Young Philly to a certain extent, right? Big up Young Philly to a certain extent. He's now back in the UK. In case you're wondering, yes, he was charged with various rapes. I think he's been charged with 3 in total, right? I think it's 3. British YouTuber travel back home. Yeah, let's quickly read this. Actually, this is an overview of his details. He's allowed to travel back home on bail for sexual assault charges. It says here, British YouTuber, content creator Young Philly, who was facing trial in Perth with sex assault charges, has been granted permission to travel home for the UK for the first time since he was arrested. You happy about that? The entertainer, whose real name is Andre Felipe Valencia Barrentos, allegedly raped a woman in his Perth hotel room after a performance at a nightclub in the city's north in the September of last year. He was arrested in Brisbane, so he was on shit. He was basically confined to Australia with his passport revoked, stuck there for a year. Jesus Christ. He was arrested in Brisbane before being extradited to Perth in October, where he stayed since he's part of his strict bail conditions. But District Judge Gary Wilson Macy has allowed an amendment to the bail conditions, which clearing Mr. Barrentos to travel home from the UK on Tuesday for almost 4 months. Yeah, he can stay there for Christmas basically. Then he's back in Australia to carry on with the trial. He will be required to return to Western Australia on January 7th, 2026, and must surrender his passport to authorities the following day. Mr. Barrentos, who is a rapper with millions of social media followers, was touring Australia in the time for the arrest. I wonder how tempting it must be for him. To just decide to just fuck it and then just run to Colombia or something. I think that's where he's originally from. Maybe there's no extradition treaty from Colombia to Australia. I wonder how tempted he must be to just get a plane from England to Colombia and then never come back. I wonder if he's guilty, of course. If he's not guilty, face your day in court, fuck it. But if he's guilty, that might be the right place to go, because even if he's not guilty, actually, because I think his career is ruined, to be honest. He was pleaded guilty for the charge of sexual penetration without consent and assault causing bodily harm. The district court heard that there will be a $100 surety separate from Mr. Brento's $100,000 personal undertaking, and his electronic device must have location services switched on at all times while overseas. In court, Mr. Brento smiled when confirming his name and told Judge Macy he understood the conditions and thanked him. When entering the district court, the entertainer took a picture with 2 fans. So he's feeling relaxed and cool, which might explain these pictures. He jumped on randomly Snapchat. He's on Snapchat at the moment. I'm assuming he's on Snapchat because I've seen a bunch of creators on Snapchat now, because Snapchat is now giving, or is paying a lot more. Snapchat is paying a lot more. Is paying a lot more to content creators in terms of monetization. I think mostly because they want more people to use the app, so they pay out way more. That's why the Kardashians, for instance, exclusively post on Snapchat, or post most of their stuff on there. That's why also JT, that was involved with the Cardi B and Nicki drama a little bit earlier on, she was replying and posting some of her replies and videos on Snapchat. So she would say something to Cardi on Twitter, then run to Snapchat, hoping people would kind of jump over there to see what she had to say, you know, guaranteeing her fucking payout. So I know Snapchat are paying content creators fairly well, especially if you're famous. And I'd imagine also it's a safer place to be. I'd imagine. I think there's way more toxicity and negativity towards him, I'd imagine, on IG. So it's probably best to stay on Snapchat. He randomly uploaded this picture where he says, does the curly hair suit me? And I don't know, man. This feels like a bit of a sick guy thing to do, because he's obviously trying to be sexy, right? I don't think he's like trying to show off his Jericho. I think he's trying to, like, you know, be sexy and hope like someone slides in his DMs. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, surely your focus is in the wrong things right now. Yes, I know everyone has their needs. He's a man. It's been a year probably without any contact with anybody, let alone physical contact. But surely the last thing that he needs right now is to be sliding in girls' DMs, having people slide in his DMs, you know, meeting with like, I don't know. If I was him, I'd be keeping my circle incredibly tight until the trial's over. Especially if you're guilty. Especially if you're guilty. If you're not guilty, of course you should do it. It's obvious what you should do. But if you are guilty and you're trying to get away with such a heinous, crazy fucking crime, which should include some shame, I think that's something also I also thought is very interesting in this era we're living in. We're living in an era where there's, like I said before, there's this word trade now, right, in the gay community that people are now saying a lot, trade, which refers to a man that likes to have sex with other men, especially gay men, but doesn't think of themselves as gay. We live in we live in a world where people can troll you, and then if you hit them in real life, if you say something to them, mean to them in real life that breaks their heart or makes them cry, they are super shocked why you did that. It catches them off guard. They can't understand it. It's like, hold on, you started this. You said X, Y, and Z. That's why I said this and that. But we live in that weird world. Everything's kind of upside down. So it should also be, this is another form of upside down, where you can be accused of rape, like proper rape, R-A-P-E, rape, right? There's also these accounts. Remember these accounts? There's that one, and then there's these. Remember from the BBC? This is when was this article? This is June. British rapper Young Philly faces 2 more charges. The YouTuber, whose real name is in March, he pleaded not guilty for 3 counts. According to court documents filed on Friday, he faces 2 new counts of sexual penetration without consent, and no plea has been entered for them. The act alleged to have taken place on the 28th of September. Brentus has been touring Australia around that time of the alleged offense. So there's 2 more instances took place. I think there might be another one as well alleging to something happened in Magaluf. But let's just say there's 2 more. I'm assuming when they say 2 counts, that means 2 different people. So he's got 3 counts of rape on his head, but he's out here posting, like, I don't know, thirst traps essentially. Like, this guy's mind is broken, isn't it? Because even if you're innocent, like, fight for your case, bro. I don't know, fix your life, like, do some introspection, maybe go on a silent retreat while you're here in the UK. I don't know, like, posting first trap pictures, like, does the curly hair suit me, is an insane thing to be posting. The most insane one's a picture of his feet. Actually, there's a picture that he does where he's out in the he's outside somewhere and he's with his bare feet walking around, like taking a picture of his feet, like recording his feet. I'm assuming it's like I'm back on road, back on solid ground, England. I don't know, but that was very freaky. Then he obviously posts another picture on his Snapchat with 2 younger siblings, I'm assuming, from his family or relatives, their babies, which is the classic thing people do, right? When a guy's been accused of domestic violence and the guy's been accused of some sexual assault, harassment, rape, the first thing they do is pop out with a kid, you know? It's like a YouTuber having a dog or some sort of pet in their hand as they're apologizing on their lap. The first thing a YouTuber does, especially a guy when they've been accused of rape, is suddenly your family man. Suddenly you're like dad of the year. Suddenly you're uncle of the year. I mean godfather of the year. You're out here like taking all pictures and shit with your little female siblings. It's fucking hilarious. And then of course one of the other pictures he posted as well was a picture of his PC setup. I'm the best at Warzone. You know, taking, you know, I guess he's out here gaming. He's out here on lobbies and shit with accusations over his head top. Fucking wild. I know he can't speak about the case, you know, which is what it is, but I guess he's out here doing what he's doing now. I wonder if the Snapchat thing started when he was in Australia, or he started, I guess he had to start it here, because if you're in Australia, you can't technically maybe earn money over there while you're there, but still, incredible thing to do while you're currently on bail for 1 rape charge, and then there's 2 pending ones on your head, which I'm assuming will probably hit him once the Australia one has been done. I'm assuming once the Australia one's been done, most likely I would assume that they're probably going to go ahead with the other 2, right? I'd imagine so. But yeah, he's in a tough place, man. He's in a tough place. He's in a tough place, but I just couldn't imagine doing this with my time while I'm fighting those cases. Like, the last thing I'll be thinking about is some fucking hanky-panky with an adult. Honestly, the last thing I'll be thinking about is some hanky-panky. I'll be legitimately worried, fucking silly, sweating buckets, crying, trying to figure out how I'm gonna fix my life, sort it, ensure that I'm not guilty, you know, repair my public image, which is probably even worse than the guilty charge. He could get found not guilty. He could get found not guilty, and it still won't do any good for his public reputation. It's damaged forever, you know. That's the unfortunate nature about rape allegations, especially with men. Even if you're innocent, and you're found not guilty, it doesn't matter. Your career's still ruined because that's smart on your name. You can never get it off. And the other thing that he has really against him is his reputation. That's the main thing he has going against him, his reputation. Because even if you don't believe what those girls have said about him, or if you don't believe the accuser of the rape accuser, you can't deny that there is so much evidence out there that proves, or that at least displays, not proves, at least showcases and displays that this guy is a bit of a sex pest, allegedly, right? He's a little bit handsy, forward, doesn't seem to have an off button, you know? Those type of guys always get themselves in trouble. We know them. I'm sure some of you guys have friends like that. They're a liability to hang out with in clubs and shit because they do too much. They make you all look fucking bad. They scare away the hoes. You know, they might bag a couple here and there, but mostly scaring them away. It's kind of hard to deal with. So unfortunately, that reputation can't be judged in the court of law. It's done in the court of public opinion. And most people think, yeah, that guy's guilty. So even if he does get found not guilty, cleared of all charges, his life is over. So I can kind of understand in that respect going on Snapchat and trying to, you know, stack up your funds, get on with your life and shit. But I don't know. I'll just put my life on pause, man. Your life isn't on. You can't get on with your life with a rape allegation, a rape fucking accusation, a rape court case coming up. You just can't as a man. You really shouldn't be posting thirst traps. That should be the least thing on your mind. That should be the least thing on your mind. But hey, maybe I'm the weirdo. Maybe I'm the freaking weirdo. Big up him. Big up him. Talking about weirdos, let's talk about this. Courtesy of the Berghain community subreddit, one of the best subreddits of all time. Allegedly, the great and the powerful Cormac, big up Cormac, one of the best disco DJs out there, one of the best quote-unquote party DJs out there. I've seen him play a bunch of times, saw him play at Adonis actually. Yeah, I saw him play at Adonis at the Cause. That was the most recent time. That might have been sometime last year. I think he's playing again this week, if I'm not mistaken. So make sure you check out Adonis if you're that way inclined. He has said, according to this person on the Berghain subreddit, I didn't get the screenshot because I didn't find it in time. But according to this person, it says, so Cormac posted that he no longer will be resharing audio clips recorded at Pano out of respect, Pano being Panorama Bar, out of respect for the club's policy of keeping it in the moment. And I saw other big DJs from that weekend share ones they followed, they've taken. Have Berghain started an official policy or just a soft policy? I saw that I saw other DJs from the big weekend share ones they followed had taken. I don't mind. Okay, cool. I don't mind the audio clips as they are discreet and it's usually music nerds enjoying music and more music nerds in bear. What do you think? So I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true because I haven't seen the image itself, but let's just imagine it is true because Miss Kitten recently, or Kitten, now she's known as, recently said the same sort of thing, that she's not sharing or resharing any of those clips. You can tag her if you want. She might like your thing, but she's not going to reshare them on the profile because that's what some people do, right? They go in Berghain, they record, or even though they cover your phone camera, you still record, but it's obviously you're not going to see anything, and you can kind of record like a video audio clip that can't be seen because there's a camera there's a sticker covering the lens, and then you tag the DJ that's playing, you post up on Instagram stories, and then usually the DJ will fucking reshare that. It's a good way for the DJ to get promotion. It's a good way for you to show off that you were there and get a little bit of social proof and actually, you know, endorphins and shit. Be happy that a famous DJ kind of reshared your thing. I don't obviously do that because I think tagging people in your stories is gay as fuck and super lame and corny and weird. But some people love to do that. I'm not really a big believer in the DJ hero worship, to be honest. But in this respect, I'm a little bit conflicted because I think there's no stopping the inevitable, right? We are where we're at in life. Smartphones are a thing. Social media is a thing. There is no putting that genie back in the bottle. And like I said the other day about the Berghain garden picture, right? There's this picture went viral from the Berghain garden in like 2007. And essentially all you see in this picture is people wearing color, which is weird because when you go Berghain now, everyone's dressed in black. Everyone's dressed in the same, in different variations of like Rick Owens and Balenciaga, basically. But no one's wearing color. But the other thing you see when you're looking at that picture of people in the garden in Berghain, no one's on their phone. Everyone's having a conversation. Everyone's head is up like that. Everyone's head is up looking at the person next to them, which you don't usually see nowadays. You see people, someone's always on their phone looking down, right? So that was a really crazy thing to say, oh my God, look, everyone in the moment, living in the moment. But then you think back in that era when that picture was taken, I don't know, Nokia's are still the prominent brand. You know, the closest thing to a smartphone we had back in the day was maybe an Alcatel, like a BlackBerry. So that's why it wasn't because people were doing the right thing and enjoying the moment. They were only doing the right thing because they didn't have the tech at that moment to do the wrong thing. Exactly. You know, so I think it's inevitable where we're going. And I just think it's a bit annoying to be like, okay, cool, you can't even post those because you don't see anything. I know maybe they don't encourage the best of behavior because if you're recording those video / audio clips, that means you're not really present. It also means that you're maybe doing something that's disturbing or annoying somebody else's experience. You might be having the phone in the air, you might have it on in the first place, someone might see it, become more self-conscious, don't want to be free in dancing, expressing themselves, fucking whatever they're gonna do. They might think they're being recorded as well, or it just might encourage them to do also bad behavior, right? It might be like a cycle, like a knock-on effect, like a dominoes, where if you do it, now somebody else that was focusing now takes out their phone, the next person does the same thing, and then so forth and so on and so forth. So I understand that side of things, but I don't know, I don't really see any harm in it on the other side of things. I really don't. I really don't see any harm in it. I guess I'm a little bit biased because when I first kind of discovered the club, one of the things I used to love doing was going on, like back in the day it wasn't Instagram, it was YouTube. Back in the day you'd go on YouTube and you'd search Berghain and you'd go search options and you do like date uploaded or posted, and it would give you all the uploads that people posted, and it was usually clips that they recorded off their phone, recorded on YouTube, hoping for a tune ID, or what they do because of the content ID match thing, if you uploaded the song onto YouTube and left it for a day or two, the automatic system would tag it, obviously copyright tag it, block it if it's a tune, but then you'd find out what the tune is. So if your Shazam didn't work or whatever, or you didn't know it was, you could easily just upload it onto YouTube and it will tell you automatically what the tune ID is. But obviously that's changed with social media. But that's how I used to get a lot of my tunes. Like that's how I used to record dig. Really strange, but that's how I used to record dig. I'd be on there. I'd be on I think back in the day there was a Facebook group. People, if you know about Berghain, there was a popular Facebook group which I think might have now migrated to Discord or might have migrated to Telegram, called like Berlin Panorama Bar Music Lovers or something. It was huge, full of 100,000 people, thousands of people, not 100,000. And they'd always post like, okay, here's what I heard in the Berghain. I heard this track, this DJ played this track, this track, this track. So you'd get amazing shoots. So that's how I used to record dig. So I find it a little bit hard to take that, you know, now or a lot of DJs are deciding not to push or promote that sort of thing and not encourage that bad behavior. Then I thought to myself, is this actually a rule? Like, I know they say you can't put stickers, you can't record videos, but is it actually a rule that once they put the sticker on your phone, that means you also can't record a video even if you got a sticker on there? But then I checked the Instagram and I remember seeing this the only post they have on their Instagram, by the way, on the official Berghain Instagram, the only post they have here is this one post. If you click it, it says the following: taking photos is not allowed. Is not allowed. It says it clearly there, right? And this is obviously in the area where photos were the only thing, not videos. You couldn't actually record in the video. And then if you go under Wikipedia, you shall see that it also says something about no photos being allowed in there too. If you read a bit of the blurb, it said Berghain is known for extended weekend hours, strict and selected door policy, diverse queer culture, dedicated spaces for sexual activity, and an environment that is described as influencing fluidity in sexual orientation and behavior. It has been embroiled in controversy over drug-related instances, including overdoses, safety concerns, and political criticism, including linked to its drug culture. Berghain's owners launched Berghain, a label, in 2005. Let's see about the photo. I think I've seen it somewhere, right? The photo. Is it photo? Photo. I'm sure I saw the quote here somewhere about the no photos. Where is it? There you go. No photos and videos are allowed inside the club, and the patrons are required to cover their smartphone cameras with a sticker. This policy was maintained in 2020 when the club temporarily converted into an art space for the Studio Berlin exhibition. Additionally, the toilets in the club have no mirrors, purportedly so the club's guests are spared the buzz-killing identity of seeing their own faces in the epic partying session. But you could just see it with your fucking phone, to be fair. 2020 academic study described Berghain as a unique, I don't know what that fucking word says, where existing sexual orientations may become porous, as well as pre-existing behaviors altered due to the environment. So it says quite clearly there, no pictures, no videos. And obviously when you go in for the first time, if they can feel you're a first timer, sometimes the security who's checking all your bags and shit in the little room to the side will usually say, please no pictures, no take videos, just enjoy your night, please. You know, they give you a little warning, a little pep talk. So it is known, but again, like I said, it's a little bit of a loophole because they steal your camera anyway. You can't exactly take it. I've seen people upload selfies, which is just a black screen and stuff, right? Which is quite funny. So it's a little bit strange, the fucking request there, but I understand what they're doing. There's actually an article here that kind of speaks a little bit about it too, courtesy of the New York Times. This is an old article actually. It says, with stickers on phone cameras, club defend the party vibe from 2024. On a recent Sunday afternoon here, it says, line outside Berghain Berlin club stretched for hours. Hundreds of visitors sweating black outfits lined the path to a dusty, pathy door. The club is also notorious because despite the reputation of being the world's preeminent techno venues, its parties aren't documented online. Club goers are warned at the door that photos and videos are banned. If any violation will result in expulsion. And I do like seeing that, I'm not gonna lie. It is quite funny and, I don't know, it's gratifying to see somebody get chucked out of a club for not following the rules, because it's instant. It's fucking instant. Like, I've been around people. I remember this one time specifically, I think it happens a lot with Russian girls. I don't know why. There was this like kind of like a daughter of an oligarch type of Russian girl, and she was in the toilets, if I'm mistaken, if I remember correctly, and we're waiting to queue in the toilets because obviously the toilets in Berghain are genderless and shit, so you will queue up to the same ones. We're queuing to go into the toilet cubicles, and if I'm not mistaken, she was on the queue taking pictures, selfies of herself with her gay bestie, and the way security saw that and just like yanked her out of the club by her collar, like, not, bro, like it was almost instant. So that's why sometimes you don't really see them because they're quite incognito, keep themselves to self. But they do parade the dance floor, the security. They are always going up and down. They're always kind of doing, you know, little circles. And obviously, people there too are very strict too. The people that go. I remember the first time I ever went. Actually, the first time I ever went, I got told off about doing bumps on the dance floor because I'm from London, obviously, and I'm aware that everyone does bumps on the dance floor. I got told off by this like guy wearing a little kind of fairy kind of outfit, if I'm not mistaken. He's like, "Babe, no, you don't do that here. Go in the toilets," you know, kind of told me off like very elegantly, very quietly, but very kind of direct. So the people self-police really well too. So if you do pull out your phone, someone's going to snitch on you quickly. But it is quite satisfying to see them because I honestly, she was tiny, this girl. She got dragged like from her collar, like you know, like in a cartoon where like they pull someone and it's just like a shadow, like all you see is color. I was like, shit. Like a blur, right? A motion blur from a white dress. Although this may seem like an excessive to visitors, it says such camera policies have become the norm or standard practice in Berlin clubs as a crucial tool to maintaining an anything goes atmosphere. The club elsewheres are increasingly following Berlin's lead, and that's the thing. It's I don't think it's anything goes. It's more so just fun, isn't it? I don't know what it is about. It's more so just fun. I guess the phone policy thing pre-selects people. The door policy pre-selects people. The culture, it being queer, LGBT, pre-selects. So you're probably getting people that are coming into that place open-minded anyway, who don't have their guard up, who like to dance, who like music. I mean, it's kind of a bit of a cheat code, but I still think like people can say, I'm sure people have said this before in places like Color Factory and shit, but those type of clubs, they've improved. Even Fabric, which I don't like, has improved somewhat because they've now decided to put stickers on phones and shit. It does really help. Obviously you need to kind of, you know, enforce it. I know some clubs like Fold in the beginning were just handing out the sticker things in the queue and making you put them on yourself. It's like, come on, that's not really gonna enforce it. People are still gonna take the piss. You just could just put it on there and really be for serious. And to be honest too, the Berghain stickers they put on your phone, the stickers are like, they're like bulletproof. I don't know where they get them from, what kind of grade, level, style, whatever, the adhesive they use. But honestly, unless you're wearing skinny jeans and your pockets are really tight to and you're kind of pulling out your phone in and out and it's kind of rubbing, it can slip off. But most of the time, those stickers stay on for a long time and they're kind of hard to take off. They're really fucking solid. So maybe it's that. Maybe you have to invest in special stickers. I don't know, develop them with a fucking sticker manufacturer so they don't come off. But I guess there's a reason for it. But the loophole in Berghain does exist because, like I said, recording a video with a sticker on isn't the same thing as recording a video with a sticker off. And most people, I think, just hold their phone down below. They don't stand there with their phone pointing at the fucking booth, you know? So you are being quite discreet. It says here, respective venues, including Fabric in London, Radion in Amsterdam, have brought in similar sticker rules in recent years. Pike's Ibiza on the Spanish island, famous for its nightlife, announced last month that all visitors must now cover their cameras so that will happen at Pike stays as Pikes. Tia Abashidze, founder of Basement in Brooklyn, a techno club that has been stickering visitors' phones since 2019, said in an email that it was part of a cultural shift towards genuine distraction-free experiences. The club regularly enforces the rule. She said sometimes throwing several rule breakers out per night. Fucking hell. And you know what's really cool about this too is like, that's the truth though, isn't it? It does ultimately gear for a better experience, a better venue, a better time out, but I don't know, it's just something. I guess it's maybe just being told that you can't do something. It's like there's a little anarchist, a rebel punk thing about it. It's like, I want to do it anyway, you know? But you shouldn't. Obviously you shouldn't, because it's a far better experience if you don't. Daniel Plasch, co-director of Berlin venue RSO, said that the growing international popularity of such policies reflected an appreciation for the club's carbon ethos. That's true. I also think what's the other way around. So, let me explain. I'll read this first. Other cities have clubs like Berlin. Other cities have clubs, sorry, but Berlin has clubbing culture. Very, very true. Very good distinction there, because they take it serious. Sometimes a bit too seriously. Sometimes those Berlin people are a little bit too serious when it comes to clubbing. It's just uts music, like relax, love, relax. It's not that deep, you know? Let's take a chill pill. But they do take it seriously. There's something unifying, ritualistic about the dance floor. He added, but the atmosphere was ruined when people use their phones to take images that they'll never look at again anyways. By taking a photo, Plasch said, you are destroying the moment even as you are documenting it, which is true, which is why I've always advocated for like, I advocate for misconnections. I think you should have more misconnections. When you go out, Don't, if you end up, you know, talking to somebody that you like and shit, just let it be. Let it be. If you end up making a friend, let it be. Let you bump into that person again on the dance floor. Don't try and exchange IGs or numbers. It never really works out anyway. And the connection, the electricity of that meeting the second time around, by coincidence, by happenstance, is going to be way better than getting their phone, trying to organize someone to meet them, to hang out again during the week. But then that person, you know, fucking ghosting you because they've now they want to come down and they're regretting going now, and you're a reminder that they went out. You know, it's just, no, leave it. So you're better off just leaving your phone in there and having those long, you know, drug-induced crazy conversations with people in toilets and shit, as opposed to trying your best to make, you know, make friends by pulling out your phone and being. It's just not the place to be. Enjoy the social aspect on the dance floor, in the club itself. No need to try and, you know, take your phone and use it all, because you don't really need it. Let's be fair. You go in there, the night is programmed for you to a T. If anything too, I'd prefer, if you're going to a place like these places in Berlin that are open, you know, 24/7 and shit, you're probably better off keeping your phone in your pocket so you have battery, so you can then get an Uber home. You can jump on a train, you can withdraw money, whatever, you know, you're better off doing that. Or you can fucking order some food on the way back. I'd much rather have my battery to order some food than have my battery to add randoms on Instagram that I'm never going to talk to again, you know. But I guess everyone's different. But I'm curious to see how this is going to change people's behaviors, because when you go to Berghain, you do see, for sure, I'm sure some of you have seen as well, you do see a lot of people, especially during the weekend, you see a lot of DJs deciding to reshare those clips from fans who are taking pictures and like so excited to be there and shit. And although it's a harmless activity, I can understand for the club it can probably be annoying, because it's almost like the DJs are encouraging bad behavior. But I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, because if you stop the pictures inside with a sticker, you might as well stop these pictures on the outside. You know, obviously this is different, but you might as well stop these pictures outside the club itself. I think they're just, you know, maybe there should just be a ban of all pictures within a 500-mile radius of the club. I don't fucking know, but it would be better if they stopped. Okay, so here's someone sharing something. Who's this? This is someone called Yuri Henderman. Big up Yuri Heidman. This Yuri Heidman guy, what's he saying here in his caption? What's this caption? I always like the caption for these after they play there. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for the incredible Berghain debut on Sunday. Thanks to the friendly, hard-working staff and all the dancers, to Steffi, to the light artists who did an amazing job as always, and of course to my lovely friends. That means everything. Oh, honestly, the first when I eventually end up getting booked to play there, because it will happen. You know, I speak it into existence. When I eventually do end up playing in a place like Berghain and Panorama Bar, that's gonna be the one thing that I won't struggle with. You know, a lot of people struggle with, oh, what friends to put on the guest list. There will be none. Number one, no one will know, and number two, I won't respond to any anyway. Yeah, I mean, but it'll be funny. I think I'll be that petty guy that'll probably take screenshots of DMs I'll get from people that I haven't spoken to in like 10 years. What I mean. Who's suddenly like, oh hey, I just saw the fuck off, you know. So I don't have that issue, but I guess that must be such a problem for people though. Once because they announce the Berghain lineups like a month in advance, isn't it? So imagine if you get announced on there, and then someone sees your name, they're like, oh my god, I know her, I know him, and then suddenly they start DMing you like, hey, long time, or they respond back to a message that you sent. Imagine that they respond back to a message that you sent them that they never opened. Now you want to talk to me, huh? Now you want to talk to me. Anyway, it says, I was struggling a lot with the lower back pain over the last few weeks, which made me feel not my best in days leading up to my gig. Big up Yuri. Stay strong. But daily exercises, a heating pad, and a good dose of adrenaline, I guess, did the job. I was in the zone right from the beginning, and most of the nervousness was gone. The club has given me so much over the past 15 years, so it felt incredibly special to play on the Berghain floor. I'm so speechless, and I'll take this time to process the experience. I enjoyed it to the fullest, and all of the kind words after mean so much to me. Have a lovely weekend. What a lovely crowd that was. That was the best birthday present ever. And he posted this yesterday, you know, so it took him a whole day. It took him a whole couple of days to recover. Fucking hell, big up him. Let's have to listen to some of the stuff that he played. Is that a video? That is a video, right? Oh, that was his debut too. That was his debut. Oh wow, is that a cake? I think that's cupcake someone gave him, right? I guess his friends gave him some cakes there. I guess. Nice to see. Oh, that's pretty nice, isn't it? Happy Berghain debut. Oh, that's the thing about having friends in it. I don't have any, so I would never get something like this. But this is so cool. Instead of cakes, it's like what? It's a mixture of like cakes and is that fruit? I don't know what that is. Is that a banana? I think that might be a banana. Yeah, and some melon and some plum. That's actually pretty cool. That's a really cool little gift there as his debut. There's a little gato there. Oh, look all the notes. That's one of the things you don't get a lot of, innit? People sending you notes, happy birthday notes on the napkins and stuff. That's brilliant. That's one of the best things about not having the phone on you. People go analog, innit? Start sending you fucking papers, handing them over to you, and obviously the menu there. I mean, sorry, the lineup as well. So big up Yuri, big up Yuri. That's fucking brilliant. Love to see that one. Love to see that one. Who's this one? Long time coming back to Berg after 10 years. Thanks for the best weekend. Dreamed of visiting. Being my past passion. Thanks to Kerry for the incredible set and making Berghain better than I expected. Let's see this one. Any clips? Any clips on this guy? Nah, just pictures like from the weekend. Fair play. No clips. Let's see if we can find a DJ here. Is that a DJ? Who's this? They got no clips on there. Who's this person? This is Earwax Techno. They must have a couple clips in there. Give us some clips, Earwax. Good. Big up Earwax Techno. It says, wow, last Sunday morning will forever have a special place in my heart. It was a magical being there surrounded by passionate souls who were all united for the love of the music. You made my debut a special life moment. I feel blessed and grateful for the support and love received. It was a very meaningful experience. A big thanks to Steffi. Shit, Steffi invited a bunch of people. I guess it'll stay, maybe Steffi's label now or something. Everyone's thanking Steffi. That's Face Fatale, right? Face Fatale performed as well over the last weekend. Is that a DJ? Who's this? We live. I didn't know what to expect. Okay, cool. This is someone that went there. I didn't know what to expect. Will definitely be blown away. The intro shaped the ambient with low BPM break beats, slowly building up to faster BPM and well-known 4x4 beats. Look at this person geeking out. Big up. Who's this? Geordie. Big up Geordie out here geeking out. Love to see it. Love to hear it. A large part of the live set was fairly low in BPM, 125, but later in the night it built up to around 130 BPM and maybe even lighter. I really enjoyed the low BPM moments, even though they didn't feel low because they're extremely danceable. Oh, nice. That's very hard to, but that's a very hard skill to do, to be honest. They played around a bit with the BPMs and beats. He loves the word BPM in it, which kept you moving. I think it was really good. Big up the example of low hard, of how hard this isn't necessary. Pause. The crowd was good. I stood in the middle of the front set up for the whole time. This was one of the most interesting nights of Berghain in my opinion. Yeah, big up Geordie. Love to hear it. This type of music you listen to wearing fucking drop crotch pants, topless. You have like hair running down from your chest down to your belly button into your pubes. You know, You have a couple of earrings in. You might have one of those ponytails like that, right, at the back of your head. You have loads of wristbands, you know, like long nails. This is how music you listen to, you know. Fair play. Big up this guy. So let's see how it goes. With no photo policy, but I don't know, man. I don't think it's gonna work long term. People like to post things. People like to post that they've been to places. So I don't think this is gonna end anytime soon.
This is literally the biggest lifesaver.
What's this person say? I already shared some of my risky side quests. What's this about? Who's this lady?
For your night out there, Kankidi, or to be honest, for like any festival, because you can use it like everywhere. But especially if your friends are like mine, which means they tell you they're already on the way, but those freaking bitches are still getting ready. Definitely will need this app as well. Number one.
Come on, bro. There's apps to rave now. What's this app called? I already skipped sharing some of the risky words and nearly got kidnapped. So this app is definitely for me. Especially, okay. I'm not. I don't know. What's this? I guess it's a safety thing, right? I don't give a fuck, man. Maybe don't drink and do as much drugs and keep a blicky on you. I don't know. You'll figure it out. If an app needs to save you, you probably should stay at home. I'm not gonna lie. If you need an app to save you, you probably should stay at home. But hey, what do I know? Absolutely nothing. Okay. Nothing. Okie dokie. Let's move on. I also wanted to talk a little bit about this actual sad flipping news. A UK institution down there in South London, Brixton, Elephant Castle to be exact, Corsica is closing in March 2026 of next year. So I guess the last few months, we don't have that much long actually to go. Fucking hell. It was rumored recently actually, but they confirmed it via their Instagram that Corsica Studios will be closing for good next year. Now, it shouldn't be too surprising for people that live in that area, because I feel like apart from places in like East London, like Hackney and shit, and Stratford and Hackney Wick and Dalston and Stoke Newington, I think the other places that have been heavily gentrified, or even maybe north, like Angel and shit, the other places in London that have been heavily gentrified are places like Elephant and Castle, Brixton and shit. Like, they got rid of that shopping mall. Like, Elephant and Castle had this amazing shopping mall, right? Really fucking cool. Old school shopping mall around the roundabout that's completely gone. That roundabout is completely changed. The Elephant thing is gone, right? Like, everything is gone about that area. So Brixton, Peckham, all these places, Elephant Castle, they're no longer what they used to be. They're very, very, very gentrified. Even the racial mix-up of the places have completely changed as well. I'm sure some of you guys who live in South London will definitely attest to that. So this shouldn't come as a surprise. Like, if I'm not mistaken, like the areas around Corsica Studios, last time I went, it was a few years ago, but the areas around Corsica Studios are very shiny, and Corsica is probably the only janky, sketchy looking place in that whole area, which is part of its charm. Part of its charm is that the air conditioning never works. It's like a fucking sauna in there, but it's got amazing sound, amazing lineups, usually very different from other. That's another thing I always kind of give them credit for, similar to the Cause, because I feel like there was a time when maybe Fold first opened. Maybe it was when it first opened. When Fold first opened, it kind of felt like everybody went to Fold, right? And I think because Fold had a certain, because Fold kind of adhered by like the Berlin style of programming in terms of what they booked as DJs, like some of the cooler ones and stuff coming up, making noise. A lot of people couldn't see those people in London, so they'd go to Fold because you'd know where else to see them. So I think a lot of people started to copy that lineup structure. And I know E1 tried to at one point, right? E1 at one point tried to copy Fold, but I think the clubbing scene kind of needs variety. And that's why you kind of like Corsica Studios, because some of the lineups you got at Corsica you couldn't really hear anywhere else, you know. So it was it kind of gave you a reason to travel down there. Same goes for like venue MOT. They had the same sort of thing as well, where they have very specific or very different types of lineups than the ones that you have in other clubs, whereas other clubs like to kind of play copycat. But I think they'd have their identity. So I'd always kind of appreciate kind of Corsica for that, or going about things their own way. But I think most people that have been there regularly, or usually, even though the place is usually full, it's usually with busing and people are, you know, again, in my opinion, it's one of the more better, funner clubbing experiences. I also personally find, maybe I'm being maybe I'm kind of being weird because I live in East, but I find that people that you meet out on night out who are from South are usually, or even if you're in South, they're usually way friendly. I'm not gonna lie. I'm somebody that likes to camp in the smoking area and pretend I'm cool and talk to randoms, and I think I have way better random conversations in South than I ever do in East. People are a little bit more warmer, open, way more interesting. I think the age ranges are a bit better too in terms of the people that go out clubbing. So when it goes to Phonics, Corsica, whatever, it's all a fucking good time. So it's really sad to see Corsica close, because again, I remember it being a great place. I'm actually checking my RA tickets thing now, and I think the first time it says, well, because these are all tickets, by the way, on RA. I'm sure I bought tickets other ways too, but from what I can see here, the first time I ever went to Corsica, according to my RA app, is Tessellate with Ewan Wian, T Jax and Bade Records, allegedly. And then another time I went to there was for a night called Dance Floor Recall Exhibition and Party in 2021. In 2022, another Tessellate night with The Ghost, and then another Tessellate. Oh yeah, so I went to, there were loads of Tessellate nights, isn't it? Tessellate nights and Nuances de Nuit featuring Christian AB, Sugar Free, Velvet Velour in 2022. Another oh no, this is Origins. Okay, big up Origins. This is an Origins night I went to in 2nd of June 2023 with Rosa Terenzi, DJ Far in the Club, and Fio Fa, sorry. And then another one in I think that's the last one in 2023. I don't think I went to that one actually. I don't remember going to, this might be one of the ones I bought the tickets for and never went. But it's just for an Origin and Kalari Oyster Cult featuring Spray, Oz Vanger, Aisha and more. So there's a last few. I went quite a few times, to be honest, over the years, and I would have probably went to more if I'm not for the traveling, you know, because before the Elizabeth line was around, or the overground, it was really hard to get to fucking South. But anyway, long story less long, Corsica have announced that they are going to be closing soon, and they posted a statement regarding it on their Instagram. The caption says, "We hope to be the first to share it with you, but the news is out. Corsica Studios, as we know it, will close its doors at the end of March 2026. The post is as follows: "We had wanted to share this we had wanted to be the ones to tell you first." It seems like they're pissed, isn't it? Because the news broke on some website. I forgot which one it was. Maybe it was a local website. And also RA reported. So it looks like they're kind of pissed that the news leaked. So, but hey, at least we know. We truly appreciate all the interest in our current situation, and the rumors, heartfelt messages of support. However, it's important that we first address a few inaccuracies, inaccurate comments and assumptions that have already appeared recently in the media. As Southwark Council will attest, we are a well-run, considerate venue operator, and we are not on the receiving end of any noise complaints from local residents. Okay, finally, that's good. Phew, because that would be a horror show. Imagine, that's when gentrification is at its worst, because I think there is a way that you can gentrify places and it served both communities. It served the people that were there before, that made it cool, and it served the expats, let's say, or the new I don't know, the new people living there. There's a balance that can be reached. I hate the one where it's just it's weighted solely on the people that live there, especially ones that have come recently, because all it takes is one person to complain and they can shut down the whole industry. I think that's unfair. There needs to be some level of like balance, some level of like concession, some level of like, you know, consideration, whatever, something to help this go forward. Because sometimes in those fucked up areas, gentrification, I've seen it in my area, at least anyway, it's cleaned up the area. It's kind of, you know, I think decreased the amount of crime that was happening, obviously improved what things look like, and provided jobs for local people, like flat out, you know. I think that's definitely something people can attest to. So it can work, but it needs to be balanced. But for some reason it's not, which is weird, because you'd imagine having the clubs there functioning properly, there'd be a good way to generate money for the area. But I don't know, whatever, who cares about this conversation. We are also not being forced out by the developers or the council. We are in fact engaged in a constructive dialogue with both parties about our potential future. This part is true though. Corsica Studios, as it's currently known it, will close its doors at the end of March. So what happened then? So I'm assuming they just can't run it anymore, or are they getting kicked out because of bills? Is it, I guess maybe it's just not in their control. Maybe they've got one of those really long leases, really long like temporary leases, where they're kind of like property guardians. You remember that thing back in the day where people would like live in these like, you know, abandoned office buildings until the time came when the demolition was going to come, or reconstruction, and you could kind of live there for fucking cheap rent and shit, but obviously meant that you have to up and move every 2 years or shit. Maybe that's what they did as a club, maybe. But I'm curious to know why exactly they're moving it, or why exactly it's closing. It's no secret that operating a late night venue such as ours has become increasingly difficult, especially in the midst of a huge new development. But for the last few years, we've been working closely with Southwark Council, the Greater London Authority, and the Music Venue Trust, as well as our team of consultants and developers themselves, to try and secure a future for Corsica in the area. The challenge has been to see whether Corsica Studios could continue to operate in the same way and in the same spirit. We now believe that we have arrived at the best outcome possible for the space. This will in time be refurbished, soundproofed venue with a solid long-term lease and a range of legal measures that will give the venue protection from the potential noise complaints from surrounding neighbors. However, in order to achieve this, certain things about the building, its current form, have to change. So it's closing for refurbishment and to just get things in order behind the scenes. So it's not actually closing. It is closing because it has to close because of refurbishment work and obviously negotiations, but it's not like done. It's not like the future's not done, but in its current form, as you know it, it is done. So when it reopens, it might look a bit different. Okay, I get it. Is that it? Did I miss one? Yeah, no. And then the third page, we understand that many of you may not be happy about this, and we too have been conflicted. But having run the space for so many years, we believe that making these changes in order to preserve the venue in some form and give it the best possible chance to success in the future is the right thing to do. And I think also branding wise, it makes sense, right? Because if you say you're closing and then you reopen, it's more hype. But if you say we're temporarily closing for refurbishment, people won't care when you're reopened. But you got to have, maybe that's partly why they do it, which again, it's a language thing. It's fine. But I guess the rumors were a little bit, or the initial story that put out was a little bit false. That's why they had to correct the record. But it sounds like they're closing temporarily to improve it, soundproof it, make it, whatever, tighter operation so that they don't have any issues further down the line. That makes sense. Without evolving, the venue faces an almost impossible task, but we are now in a position where we can future-proof the premises to allow a music and arts-focused culture space to coexist with the neighbours and remain in Elephant and Castle. We have pursued a principle that was important to us and for our community to ensure we leave a legacy. Given that we've been facing for years, this is the significant achievement, for sure. Across the board, man, clubs, it's hard to kind of keep these things open in most kind of residential areas. There is still much work to be done, and we're still not sure what our next steps will be, though we shall definitely be taking a break. But for now, at least we've decided to end on a high and go out in style. That's really cool. So even if it doesn't work out, then I guess they've ended on a high. But I think it's a great thing to do. I think it's the best option to do. Go ahead and close for the temporary. Of course, you're going to fuck yourselves in a way because, people sometimes, when you're out of sight, out of mind, you're not sure if they're going to come back again. But the benefit is that when you do reopen, you are somewhat safe in the knowledge that you've put things in place that will mitigate for people complaining, people maybe threatening to shut the place down, or redevelopment works and shit, right? You're in a far better place. You've negotiated certain things with certain developers, certain communities. All that stuff is really important too, which is probably something that should be maybe a full-time job, Don't know who does it, but it probably should be a full-time job for whoever works in clubs to be the person that's responsible for liaising with the local borough, council, government, contractors, surveyors, property developers, neighbors. It's probably one of the most important roles, second only to maybe the venue book, the DJ booker and shit, right? Venue booker, whatever. Really important, because if you don't get that right, all it takes is one disgruntled fucking neighbor and they can shut your whole thing down. Crazy. We saw that in Dawson, bro. A couple of people just shut down that whole strip. Big up Kingston. It's RIP'd. Last page. From the 31st of December 2025 until the 29th of March 2006, we will be running a series of events to celebrate the last 2.5 decades. The closing program will cover the full spectrum of our influences and inspirations, providing an opportunity to dance, reflect, and honor the people, artists, parties, and promoters who have helped shape Corsica Studios over the years. So I'll definitely be there for that. When the doors finally close, and we say goodbye, we will do so with the utmost gratitude of everyone who has been a part of the journey so far. We leave with our heads held high, a huge amount of pride, and in what we all created together, and countless amazing memories, at least the bits that we can actually remember. Yeah, big up Corsica, man. Honestly, one of the better, like, and again, there's not many places like that in London, I think, but I think Corsica, Bold, Venue MOT, maybe to a smaller extent, Colour Factory, are places that you can go to every weekend and not even care about the lineup, and you're gonna have a blast. You don't even have to care about the lineup, and you're gonna have a blast. So RIP to Corsica. Hopefully they find something. Hopefully they fucking find something. Hoping they find a solution, future proof it for you know, going forward, and then they can be in a position where they can reopen and everything is rosy. Everything is rosy. That's what you can hope for. That's what you can hope for. Big up them, big up them, big up them. Then I also went to mention actually a little bit of this. Big up Lyas. I'm not sure. Oh, where is he? No, not Lyas. Big up Open Ground. Big up Blood Club. Open Ground. Open Ground have just published actually their October lineup. The club over there in Germany, Wuppertal, the one that I need to go to still. That's been regarded as having the best sound system of all clubs in the world. They've just actually published their October lineup, and it's looking tasty. Why is it looking tasty? It's looking tasty because look who's playing. Look who's playing on the first Thursday of the month. One of the first days of the month, I guess. On a Thursday. On a Thursday, so it's tomorrow, 2nd of October. If you're over there, make sure you go check it out. It's DVS1 playing all night one. DVS1 playing all night long over there. Absolutely incredible. I'm sure that was that when it says Freifeld, I think that's the main space. And I'm assuming Annex is the other room, the smaller room. That's why it's got more people playing, I guess, support. But that's fucking sick, bro. Him playing all night long, 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. is fucking wild. He's gonna kill it. He's gonna have a great time on that fucking sound system. Maybe he's gonna make some tweaks himself, you know. But from what I remember, I think this is a ticketed event. I'm pretty sure it's sold out. So if you wanted to go, you're probably gonna have to check out Ticket Swap or something, or whatever the German version of Ticket Swap is, or whatever, to find a place to go buy tickets from. I would recommend, if you are gonna buy a ticket, don't buy it for anyone on social media, because for some reason that's like a really sly and consistent scam. People trying to pretend like they're selling you tickets. You send them the money, they don't send tickets, they block you, and then boom, you're £20, £30 down the line. It's a really dumb scam because it's really petty. Like, you're stealing what, £20, £30 a go of people. But it is something I see often in the dance music scene. So definitely don't buy your ticket from random people that you see on Twitter or Instagram and shit. Try and get it from a platform where people have to upload a ticket. I mean, all that sort of shit. Like Ticket Swap and shit will be the best way to go about it. And then, of course, the following Saturday on that same week, there is a Carhartt Work in Progress club night, which is interesting. Who's playing here? We got Arthur back to back with Mark. We got who's that? Ernestus. I'm not sure if that's his surname. We got someone called Abba Shanti, Nidia, Josie Rebel. Big up Josie Rebel, London legend. And in the annex room, we got Viola Klein, Michael J. Blood Live, YB, and Gretchen. On the following Thursdays is a night called Such a Blur. Oh no, is that DJ? Got lobby and annex drinks and DJ selection and entry from Such a Blur. Maybe it's a local promoter. The Saturday 11th of October, we've got Hans, Nice Wild, someone called Vic Lander, and Nate Wendell. I'm actually happy I don't know any of these people. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of refreshing. I like how they're not going for the same programming that happens in Berlin and shit. This is like a different, you know, different type of programming. A bit more quirky, a bit more it's eclectic, you know, eccentric. And annex room, we got Cleo AD, Aina, Firelaws, Finston Knees, Sunma, Tofu Land David. Thursday the 16th, you've got Paul Olf, Philip Olf, I guess the Olf brothers. Big up the Olf brothers. And then of course on the Saturday, who have we got here? Anyone I recognize? You got Elk, Breakage, Knick Knack, Breakage again, Halogen X, Elk. And in the annex room, you've got Alpha, DJ Tristero, Judge Rebel again. Shit, I wonder if Judge Rebel's living out there. Pick up Judge Rebel. I wonder if she's living in Germany or she's living in fucking Wuppertal specifically. Because she looks like she plays there quite often, man. Big up her. PLO Man, Rizit. Also got Will Bankhead. That's the guy from Palace, I'm assuming, right? And then on the 23rd, you got Mongol System. Yeah, Adam Storm playing. 25th, who do I like here? You got Marcus Sukkut, Alton Bass. That's the only person I recognize, actually. Honestly, all these names are fresh and new. I love this. DJ Arson Tits. That's amazing. Who the fuck is that? Let me see who that is. Who's DJ Arse? This might fuck up my algorithm, but let's see. Who's DJ Arse and Tits? Oh, is that DJ Assault? Is that who it is? Is that his kind of pseudonym? Is that another fucking? No, that's the person, right? This one here. Yeah, that has to be the person. DJ Arse and Tits, part of Hyper Love Collective. Okay. Who's DJ Arse and Tits? Big up her. DJ Arse and Tits. Let's see what she sounds like. What kind of music does she play? She got a pin post? Is that her playing in the club? That one there, the next one? Yeah, that's her playing in the club, right? So it's like electro. Yeah, I'm mad at her. Big up Arse and Tits. She played at some festival somewhere. Not gonna lie, I'm quite liking the fact that DJ Arse and Tits is her name only, and she doesn't just stand there in a fucking thong and a lace bra. That's good. Let your skills shine. Let your skills shine. So yeah, DJ Palga playing. Someone called Paradox. Someone called Slaymira. Ursula Erdam is also. And then the last Thursday of the month, who they've got here? The last day of the month, kinda. You got Lobby and Annex Night, DJs. Like no one announced, but so far pretty good. And in the following 1st of November, you got who? Fadi Moham, Akua, Paisel, DJ Travi, Katu Diosis, Frau Beji, and someone called Faujo. But yeah, check them out, man. Oh, Elijah's playing there too. Shy FX, Tasha following. Okay, it's stacked. So so that month is fairly. I don't know. That October feels like a month full of people that I don't really know. And obviously November already, you got a lot of like household names here. So I wonder if that's on purpose. And that's that Jury Hinderman we saw earlier who played at Berghain. So I wanted to do it on purpose. They kind of do 1 month where it's like not famous names. 1 month it's famous names. But either way, I think it's fucking great. They also have a pretty cool section on their site actually, where you can check out reviews and from previous DJs who have played. They take like the screenshots of their Instagram actually testimony, which is fucking great little feature. So if DJs play there and they write like a glowing review on the Instagram story, it usually just disappears. You don't see it again. They kind of immortalize it and screenshot it and put it up in their guest book. So this is a tribute from D-Dan. He says, "Thank you, Werpatul. What a treat to experience such sound so clear, dimensional in such brilliance, brilliantly full out space. Dimensional in such a brilliantly full out space." Another person here, who's this? Says, "Properly inspiring, life affirming shit at open ground. The system almost feels like a tailor made for my music." Who's this person? Tamasuma says, "We had a fantastic night at open ground. Thanks a lot to the wonderful crew. Everything feels so good about this place. The sound system is one of the best we've ever had opportunity to play. A clear and punchy, warm sound that makes for such a special experience. Also love that you have an extra area where you can sit and have a moment with friends while still catching the music but on a lower volume. But so much thought and love and attention and detail. Who created such a great space? Lovely Teresa created such a great space. A dance floor and a crowd also made it a joy." So Tamasoma loves it. Renee Wise, good word to say about it. Words do not justice. Words don't do justice. Open ground left me speechless. And yet again, places like this will set a mark in history for club and electronic music future. A club where every single detail has been designed to favor the guest experience. The sonic experience is like none other. Playing on this type of sound system allows me to truly express my musical vision to its full extent. So big up him, man. Big up him, big up them. October lineup for Open Ground available now. Check out their IG. They've got a great IG actually where people post stuff. I don't think there's any clips from the venue actually, because they do cover your phone as well. But let's just double check and be nosy anyway. I don't think there's any clips inside. I'm pretty sure they cover your phone too. They're pretty strict about that, but still, some good shit here, some good shit here. Big up Open Ground. They do good stuff. What's this? That's the train actually, isn't it? That over that train you can jump on. Carhartt whip. Okay, it's a car whip advert for it. Ah, sick. They put the advert on that train. It's a really interesting, really peculiar train where it kind of hangs upside down. The rails are like on the top. It's a really cool. It runs through the city, but I think it's not that many stops. It's more of a tourist thing. It's pretty cool. That's the thing about that place, right? It's no pictures allowed, but because it's a new space, you kind of have to show some pictures of the inside to get people interested in going. You know, you can't be flat out like Berghain and refuse all pictures. You kind of have a little bit. You kind of have to tease them a little bit with stuff in there. So yeah, there's some exclusive merch also going to be available during the Carhartt thing, I guess, right? They're making some merch too in collaboration, which is kind of sick. But yeah, you don't really see much clips and stuff of people that are there. You see some stuff here and there, but not a lot on the. Oh, there's somebody on the outside there. What's this? What's happening there? See a little bit on the outside. Can you hear the sound from there? Okay, that's not even the sound of the video itself, but yeah, you see some stuff, but not a lot. Someone doing some sound testing on the inside. That's about it, right? Probably can hear that. Rotary Mixer Love. Yeah, big up Open Ground. Check out their website. Check out their Instagram. I think it's just open.ground, right? What is their Instagram? Is it open.ground? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's openground.club. Check out their IG. They do great stuff. Can't wait to visit and go out there myself very soon. And then of course, the other thing I want to end it with and talk about is concerning this. Big up this article, courtesy of Business of Fashion. It features this guy called Lyas, who I've only found out about the other day, actually. The title of the article says, an international cure for Fashion Week FOMO. It's pretty cool what he's done. So he's created this idea where you do this like group live stream watch along thing for fashion shows, and mostly for this season, I'm assuming, because there's a lot of debuts happening in Fashion Week, for Paris Fashion Week in particular. And a lot of people obviously on the edge of their seats, myself included, waiting for the fucking Matteo Blasi debut over there at Chanel. But in general, you know, these things are usually solitary experiences. There are some times when people like myself do live streams of certain fashion shows where people like Fashion Roadman, who's notorious for that sort of stuff, and there's a lot of great fashion shows as well, but it can be hard to kind of do them all the time. But you also, you know, I'm doing it on a live stream. It's not the same thing as being there in person. So what he's created is this experience where you all kind of meet at a certain place. I think he's doing them via location. So when it's London Fashion Week, there's a meet where you do them there, and you all kind of, you know, in the local bar, in the cafe or whatever. This time I think it's some sort of outdoor venue where you just kind of watch the show together, which is something that doesn't really happen. And he's also trying to make them fun, which is something that does happen a lot in fashion. Fashion people are very serious. They take themselves too seriously, really. And yeah, he's created this whole thing around it, which is pretty fucking cool. So this article kind of speaks on it a little bit here. It says, shot to viral fame in June when he turned a cozy bar in Paris into an impromptu Dior fashion show watch party that drew nearly 300 people. Now the fashion commentator and content creator, better known online as Lyas, is it Lyas? Is it Lyas? I'm calling it L. L is taking the concept global, staging whirlwind tours and mostly unsanctioned Fashion Week viewings, which I love. The first event, which takes place in the pub in London, then a bar in Milan, and for his native Paris, he will host an 8-day festival at La Cassonera, a former fire station turned hub for emerging fashion talent that can house thousands of guests with up to 3 stream shows a day. Reply with games, free alcohol, installations, and merchandise. That's just fucking sick, bro. This is actually restoring the feeling in Fashion Week, making it fun again. Because the last time it was fun was the era when it had probably some of the meanest editors. Remember, like the whole Emmanuela Alton shit from Vogue Paris. Now they've gone that generation, but nowadays it's kind of stuffy and serious and business-like. So it kind of makes it fun, because when you're at home watching it, it's kind of fun. When you're talking about it on fashion Twitter, it's fun. When you're posting about it on IG, it's fun. But you don't really have fun IRL experience when it comes to fashion. So he's restoring that feeling, or bringing it about, inventing it, whatever. It's fucking cool. There'll be no RSVP or guest list of any kind. The price for admission in Paris, wearing a red lip a la Medini signature look. At London, where the party will be watching a Delara. That's the girl that's got horrible reviews on fucking Glassdoor, right? Delara Findikologlu. Yeah, I think it's a Findikologlu. The only condition a Findikologlu's request is that attendees will work for something must dress in all black. Among its corporate sponsors this year is the British Fashion Council, Meta, Whoopsie, MAC Cosmetics, and Vista Collective, which will provide gift cards and free clothes for prizes for attendees in the Paris. Oh yeah, true. I saw someone win a jacket actually. I think I saw in his story someone won a jacket. Let me see if it's still there. I did see on his stories that someone won a jacket. Or maybe it's gone. Maybe it's gone already. I did see a story that someone had won a jacket. Let's see. What do we have here? Okay, we have something in the past. Let's see what we have. Let's go back. But this looks fun, man. I'm not gonna lie. This looks fucking fun. Big up him. What a clever idea. So everyone's sitting around watching the fashion show. That's Jonathan Anderson's second show in Paris for Dior. And look at how it's set up. So he's got this screen. If you can't see it, they're all sitting in this like open place, right? Somewhere. It's on this courtyard. And he's got the screen looking like a fake MacBook Pro. Pretty cool, isn't it? Like the old, like the one that I want to have, the bulletproof one, right? Like the silver with the black rimmed screen and shit. Like that's a fucking cool idea. It's such a fucking clever idea. Because usually we're watching on our laptops on our phone, but you're doing it on your laptop, but then you're around other people who are also into fashion. I think it's a really fucking clever idea. Bring in like digital, online stuff IRL. Someone got some, there's some drinks there, people that have a beer in the show. Someone's watching it from the window, patio. Someone's got a t-shirt here from the show as well.
But between the drinks and subtle things,
people dancing.
My apologies,
The caption says here, fashion people just want to have fun. One fashion show was where the watch party happens. What Lyas has created there is truly fashion history. Exactly. Look at all these people who would probably be at home watching this stuff by themselves, or they'd be, I don't know, outside waiting for a sneak peek. They're now around other people who are just like them, sharing this experience together. It's fucking great, man. Imagine the connections that are going to be made from this, the brands that will come from this, the ideas, the long-term friendships, relationships even. It's fucking cool. I love this shit.
Amazing! Okay, can we do the voting now?
Imagine that. They're hooping and hollering for Anuki Ai, favorite piece of the whole show, because she walked out and for the Corsica show. Amazing, isn't it? Like they turned it into like a like a watch along for football and shit. I think that's where it comes from as well. I'll show you his Instagram. It's really cool. The advert they did for it, where it's basically playing on the whole watching football at home thing. And in it also, maybe I wonder this inspiration came from that viral video from Box Park, where from when England scored and everyone threw their beers in the air. That's fucking sick. You could do it as a fashion party, ruin someone's outfit, but you'd get in trouble for if you spilt beer on somebody's fucking archived Dior dress or something, right? But still sick.
I love the oversized lapel on that. Oh my god.
That looks like the after party somewhere in some restaurant. Again, little ecosystem around it, which is pretty fucking cool. Look, all the bars and stuff, maybe connections with restaurants and stuff to have dinners after. I love the whole thing. It's really cool.
You thought a big MacBook like this could only be AI? Well, babe, not that Lacazette, because here we're screening every fashion show, most of them on this huge laptop that took a long time to build, but we did it. This is the space where every day more than 1,000 people can come here for free. Yes, for free. When people do events and they tell you, oh, you have to pay €5 or something to enter, they're scamming you. If you want to make it for free, you can. This is the proof of it. We have a wall of kisses. The Kiss Me wall.
Yeah, because his signature thing is a red lipstick, which I think, judging by his look and the red lipstick, I'm assuming this is probably a reference to Robert Mapplethorpe. I'm assuming, right? The legendary art photographer from back in the days who dated what's her fucking name? Who dated Patti Smith. I think that I kind of learned about Robert Mapplethorpe because of the book called Just Kids that she wrote, essentially detailing her relationship with him and her journey through art and creativity. It's super good. It's really inspiring. It's the kind of thing that you read like a million times over. And I'm pretty sure Robert Mapplethorpe's, one of his like self-portrait series he did, he was like black and white, but I'm pretty sure he had lipstick on. You can't see it, but I'm pretty sure he had lipstick on and makeup as well. So I'm assuming that's where it comes from. It's a very iconic image. It kind of looks a bit like what he's got going on there. It could be. I'm not too sure if it's Robert, but I think it's a Robert Mapplethorpe reference. Even though it's kind of cool what he's got going on there. I personally wouldn't want to, put my lips on the bare wall, being black, just a bit weird. That's that. But still, I like the idea behind it. Maybe I'll cover my hand with lipstick and then put my hand on there or something, or maybe my dick.
Which is the activation we did with MAC, because MAC is the main sponsor. It's because of MAC Cosmetics that this is made possible for all of you. The people are starting to...
That's truly is the only way to do these type of things, right? I remember having done my events in the past. There is no way to do a free event unless you want to spend your own money or you want to spend other people's money. There's no other way to do it. Like, there's no other way to do it, And that's probably one of the things I'd probably do when I reach the level of like proper, whatever, fame and attention, where just take the money, a portion of it, just put on a party for the sake of it. Even if you lose money, but you do it because you want to put on a thing. But it's kind of hard to do it without a sponsor. And when sponsors get involved, they start to ask things, they have requests. Hopefully it's not the case, but because they're putting their money on the line, they can kind of say that something goes and doesn't go,
Together today. Hey, I got the invite this season. Period.
And the bag.
Look, the bag that Jonathan gave me and the invite, because this season they decided to invite me. They knew they couldn't. No. Hello Combini, c'est Lyas, on est ici à la Watch Party. Il y a mes pieds derrière parce qu'ils m'ont demandé tu mets quel fond d'écran sur ce Mac géant que tu as construit. Je me suis dit mes pieds. Donc on est ici, on va regarder des défilés toute la semaine. Aujourd'hui on regarde le défilé de Dior, les gens commencent à rentrer doucement et je suis hyper excité parce qu'en fait toute cette idée de Watch Party, de regarder des défilés ensemble avec la communauté, c'est venu parce que j'étais pas invité à un défilé Dior. Et je me suis dit putain, fuck you, moi je vais faire un truc quand même. Et du coup on a créé cette contre-soirée qui est devenue du coup en une saison un truc un peu plus produit, qui m'a coûté une couille. Mais écoute, on est là et puis il y a Combini, donc je suis content.
It's fucking ram, man. Honestly, there was such an appetite. Look at the, honestly, or you build it and they will come in it. Look at how ram it is. It's absolutely packed with people. Now, don't get me wrong, it's packed obviously because a lot of people would have been there for Paris Fashion Week anyway. But still, because I know there's some people that just like to go just for the ambiance, even though they're going to go to shows, they just want to be there and maybe watch it on their phone and a laptop in their hotel room while it's going on. But you're there, it's different. But still, look at the amount of people that are there. This is so sick, man. This is so fucking sick. I love it. I really do. Awesome. Big up this guy. He's great idea. So yeah, so big up him, man. Big up him. I think that this is the advert here, right? I'll show you what the original advert. It's what the original advert looks like that I saw online. Where is it? Somewhere down here, right? Is that the one? Yeah, I think it's this one.
You can feel the tension just like I do. Something monumental is about to happen here tonight.
La Watch Party, London, Milan, and Paris, of course.
So cool, such a cool idea. Big up, man. What a legend. What an amazing idea. Still hosting the free event of this scale for 1,000 people was a mammoth task. Medini said coordinating logistics with the affairs on a short turnaround has taken a toll on him and his team. Though for Medini, the watch parties are worth the effort. Everyone is like, babe, are you sure you can do this? Yes, I will sleep when I'm dead, he said. A third of the cost of the watch parties, which aren't profitable, comes from Medini's own pocket, he said. This year, the rest will be covered by the sponsors. Honestly, big up him, man. Amazing work. Amazing work. Medini, this is like noticing that there's a problem, there's an issue, and then fixing it, you know? I love this. Doing it yourself, figuring out a solution. I fucking love this. Medini has lofty ambitions for the future for the passion project. He wants to take the event to every city with fashion weeks in the world. That's awesome, by the way. It would also make them way more exciting too for people. I'm not gonna lie. So if he did this in Berlin, it'd probably make Berlin Fashion Week more enjoyable. Stockholm, which is obviously one of the best street style cities in the world, does it in places like Africa as well. They've got great fashion weeks, like South, like honestly, it will open it up to the world, which is fucking great. I love this. In the meantime, he's willing, begrudgingly, to create an RSB list, though he's loath to sacrifice spontaneity. The success of this year's circuit, Medini is anticipating an increase from a few hundred attendees at his last soiree to up to 1,000 this time around. May provide the key to whether the watch party can remain operational and feasible, much less expand. He's banking on the guest sheer volume to attract future partners to the event and has invited potential sponsors to witness the outing firsthand. That's true. Proof of concept. He's got the proof of concept. So they're going to see it. They're going to see all that's going on, the ability to sell to these people who have probably a lot of disposable income too. So yeah, he's going to be okay with this. It took me so long to enter this industry, Medini said, recalling the times when he had to sneak into fashion shows sans invitation. I know exactly that feeling. I want to tell my guests, don't worry, at some point the doors will open. To introduce, or do you just create your own thing, innit? That's what also could happen with people if you meet there. To introduce this iteration of the fashion show's watch party, Medini directed and released a short film directed by Premier Cree, and you can see it there. So yeah, big up him, man. Big up Laos. It's on for the entirety of Paris Fashion Week. I think he's got a list of all the other shows that are happening, if I'm not mistaken, right? I think they're over here. Actually, what's that black guy saying? There's a black guy here. What's he saying?
I came here with no plans, just to attend the watch party, and now I'm going to the fashion show. Watch party! Let's go!
Love it.
It was so cool.
I kind of want that t-shirt now. What's that t-shirt say? How to sneak into a fashion show. Oh, I want that t-shirt.
Oh my god, man. I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
Nice.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you, man. Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup. Merci. I can't.
Yeah, big up. I love this. So what are the rest of the shows happening here? Monday, that's already passed. What the ones come up and coming? You've got Thursday, Isabel Marant shows happening. Watch party for that. Friday at 3rd, they've got Lueve. Saturday the 4th, you have Andy Lemuster and Balenciaga. Sunday, Jean-Paul Gaultier. And Monday the 6th of October, you got Chanel. That's the big one. That's the one everyone's going to be at. The Chanel one. That's Matteo Blasi's much anticipated debut at Chanel. But big up Lyas. Appreciate him. He's killing it. Anyways, my friends, that has been the Action Zinger Show episode number 953. Thank you so much for tuning in. If it's your first time tuning in, you know what to do. Smash like and subscribe. If you're watching via the YouTube, if you're listening via the podcast apps, give me a 5-star review, pretty please. Discord link is in the description down below. Got a new Patreon post out at the moment, actually talking about some Bill Burr stuff. So if you want to listen to my thoughts regarding that and his performance at the Rio Comedy Festival, click the link tree down below. Access to my Patreon is patreon.com/Agostino. You'll find all my posts on there. It's only a $1 to subscribe on the Patreon, so make sure you join. I appreciate you guys so much, and I'll see the rest of you later for a random show later on in the evening. But also listen, if you're watching and listening actually to the podcast app, this podcast, you will hear my tune of the day, courtesy of Fireboy, DML and Pheez. The song is called Young Again from their duo EP that's available now. Check it out. This is Fireboy, DML and Pheez, and the tune is called Young Again. This is the Action Zinger Show. I'm out. Peace.